Our first pitch straight ahead from Minute Maid and the Astros Foundation College Classic. Here's your starting lineups for the Raging Cajuns, 5-3 on this season. What you're going to notice, a lot of right-handed batters in there against the left-hander Carter Holton. Feature Kyle DeBarge in the open, Caleb Stelly the DH, and again, maybe a handful of players that may not finish the game that will start the game because of this left-hander for Vanderbilt. Let's introduce you to Carter Holton. Injuries derailed him late last year, Pat, but certainly Vanderbilt very high on this lefty.
Yeah, no doubt. And he had a great freshman year till that injury got him off track, but came back in the summer, had an outstanding summer with Team USA, and he is back on track and full strength. And he'll show a 4-pitch mix with a fastball in the mid-90s. It's a swing and miss slider, curveball, and a changeup. But coming off that solid freshman year, he is looking to get his second win of the season.
Well, there's Matt Deggs, his 5th season as the head coach in Lafayette with the Raging Cajuns. We'll talk to him a little bit later on. A couple of great baseball coaches here in Game 2 between Coach Deggs and Tim Corbin, who, if he wins all 3 games this weekend, he'll get to 999 in his career. So he can't get to 4 digits at least this weekend, but he's on his way.
That's exciting. And great coach, good man. And he has done an incredible job for Vanderbilt for many years now. His 22nd season as a head guy for Vanderbilt.
Outdoor baseball, we're ready to go. This is Brian Broussard who's going to lead things off. New Orleans native. And a wave and a miss on the first pitch. Our plate umpire Joe Harris here in Game 2. Clint Fagan umpires at first. Michael Durantis at second. Michael Banks at third. I thought Game 1, Pat, was going to go all afternoon.
Oh, man.
Texas State and Houston going back and forth in those later innings.
What a game. Yeah, exciting finish. You know, with 5-2 lead for the Bobcats. And then nice job by U of H to come back, go ahead late. And tied on a home run in the 9th inning and a winning 2-run bomb on the Bobcats in the 10th. What a way to start this tournament.
Indeed. Next pitch to Broussard. Fouled right back to the screen.
Well, Carter Holton looking sharp. The fastball is 92 to 94. And he spots it up well.
He had a huge whiff rate on his slider, almost 50% last year. May have thrown it there. A chopper to first. Austin so far off the bag and he can't get there. And Broussard reaches Austin plays so many different positions. He's played 5 different this year. He's that versatile, but sometimes, Pat, you just get a little bit uncomfortable maybe bouncing around, and he was so far off that first base bat.
Yeah, that was just not a good decision by R.J. Austin. Of course, his pitcher Carter Holton over and plenty of time to flip it for the easy out, but Austin, I think, just didn't get to the speed of Broussard, and Broussard legs it out.
I was worried he might get stepped on as well, diving for that base with his glove. And it brings up Kyle DeBarge. D1 Baseball has him as the 7th best shortstop in the country. And a guy that Coach Degg says no doubt will play in the big leagues someday. And as Pat mentioned, a little bit of a slow start this year, but hitters hit, good players turn things around, and these last 2 games have been big for DeBarge, including a grand slam in the first of the other contest that he played in this week. So see what he might be able to do this weekend.
Yeah, and don't think that he's, traded some power against his average. That average will steadily come up. He's just that good of a hitter, but certainly is focused on increasing his power numbers and has accomplished that. 3 home runs, a triple in his first 8 hits of the season.
See his numbers for this year. How about last season, though? 76 hits, and he missed 11 games. He would have been over 80, maybe 90, had he been healthy the entire campaign. For Holton, though, injured last May. Pat mentioned some time with the collegiate national team. Didn't pitch in the fall, trying to get him back, and he's thrown 8 innings, given up 7 runs.
Yeah, tremendous arm side run as well. When you talk about the fastball, low 90s.
High pop up, third base side, should and will find the seats beyond that dugout.
These days, comparable to the major league average, it's not a blow it away fastball, but great run on it. He's got tremendous movement. He'll start that fastball inside on a right-hander and bring it back to the plate. If it starts middle of the plate, it's going to break down and away, and it's a good one.
Just underway, Broussard draws a throw at first. And probably worth mentioning, this Cajuns team a year ago had 166 stolen bases. It was a huge part of their arsenal. Vanderbilt's run a ton this year, so maybe a little different version of baseball here this afternoon. And that one's up and out.
Yeah, both teams feel really good about their pitching staffs. Of course, Vanderbilt, that's traditionally been their strength. But Matt Degg's super happy about the way his staff has started this season. They filled in some holes with some transfers, and they have all come through for him.
Humphrey comes charging in, and he will get there to put it away. Retired DeBarge for the game's first out.
Well, beautiful day for baseball, Brett. As you mentioned, the roof is open here at Minute Maid. Saw a couple of pop-ups where infielders and outfielders both had trouble finding the ball, and it's just this bright blue Houston sky today.
I had a hard time seeing Humphrey in that last shot. He's right there.
That white uniform on.
Almost lose him in right field. This is Duncan Pastor, the third baseman. For the Cajuns in their 9th game, this is their 9th different lineup. So Coach Degg's both playing a couple of guys to get them some ABs early, some opportunities to play, but I don't think he's quite settled on how he wants to manipulate this lineup. The team hasn't hit as well in the first few weeks as they anticipate later on in the year.
Only one starter in the lineup, which is Clay Wargo, hitting above 300. So it has been a slow start offensively, but yeah, Coach Deggs, he'll figure it out.
Pastor, a couple of runs batted in this season. Ground ball to short, should be 2. There's Vastine, flips to second, on to first with a double play to end the inning. So an infield single, a fly out, and the DP, and the Commodores get back to the dugout. Cajuns nothing. Vanderbilt coming into bat. Here's your starting lineup for the Vanderbilt Commodores. R.J. Austin and the freshman Cajuns in the 2 and 3 spots for this Vandy team. But my goodness, do they have some hitters 1 through 9 that we'll introduce you to as this game progresses here this afternoon. On the hill today is Louis Philippe Langevin. We'll call him LP from Quebec City, Quebec. JUCO star a year ago, and anxious to see probably the biggest and best arm on this Cajuns team make the start rather than close.
Yeah, we are thankful to call him LP. We might just do that the whole day. But Langevin, the transfer from Wabash Valley Junior College via Quebec City, as you mentioned, but the Canadian gets his first start for the Raging Cajuns. It's his 4th appearance of the season, but in 7 innings out of the pen, he's only allowed 4 hits and 2 earned runs. He's punched out 12 and walked 6. Opponents only hitting 160 against him.
Well, last weekend he got a win on Friday, got a save on Sunday. This is Jacob Humphrey.
Well, Brett, you mentioned his arm. It's 91, 93 on the fastball. He'll touch 95, but again, a ton of arm side run for Langevin as well.
Jacob Humphrey, the batter, Maine native, UMass Lowell transfer, 8 for 14 on the season. It's a Vandy team collectively batting .322. They're in the top 10 in the country at hits, in doubles, and stolen bases. Like to put pressure on these opposing pitchers and defenses. That's a strike over the inside edge.
Well, you mentioned it, Brett. It really is an athletic team. Super speedy, and man, do they have versatility. They have it in spades, and it's a team that's just fun to watch because every one of them can run.
Long pause from Langevin before the pitch. It's down and out.
Yeah, I think the big question for Matt Deggs and looking at his starting pitcher today, LP Langevin, is can he handle the big moment? Of course, pitching in a big league ballpark, his first start in a Raging Cajun uniform, and is it going to be a little bit of pressure for him? Will it take him time to settle in the first inning?
3-2 is on the corner. Strikes out the first batter he faces today as Humphreys rung up by Joe Harris behind the plate.
Yeah, nice fastball at 93 miles an hour catches the kneecaps of Humphrey. It's one of those high spin rate fastballs.
Just placed perfectly.
That is spot in the mitt.
Brings up R.J. Austin. Opening day this season, he went 4 for 5 with a 3-run homer. Even the other day had 3 hits, stole 3 bases against Evansville. Great numbers to begin his season. 14 hits, 13 runs batted in.
Well, a player with just a ton of star power, and you look at the athleticism, the speed, the versatility. Today playing first base, but can play multiple positions all over the field. Any outfield position that he wants, but there is a reason why he was the SEC tournament most outstanding player last year.
Commodores won that tournament in Hoover. And it provides Tim Corbin some versatility. Bit of a logjam in the outfield, so he could go out there and play some different positions. Playing the infield, it allows more guys to be in the outfield. They've had a couple of guys injured with Bolger and Maldonado recently, so it just keeps this lineup changing, but he's always in there somewhere, and he's usually on base as he'll single into center field, right over second base. Hit number 15 for R.J. Austin.
Yeah, and the luxury that Tim Corbin has is when R.J. Austin hits a single, it usually turns into a double via the stolen base. Super speedy. Already 7 stolen bases on the season.
I thought when Enrique Bradfield was drafted in the first round last July by Baltimore that maybe they wouldn't run as much. They might run more. He was one of the more electrifying base stealers in college baseball the last few years. As Camden Kojul fouls one out of play. And this kid's a freshman from Nebraska, the Omaha area. Tuesday knocked in 5 runs, 4 base hits. He's had a game winner. You see the homer.
Yeah, I know Tim Corbin very high on this freshman.
just underway here in game 2. Koschel batting right in that 3 spot. Espinal on deck. Langevin tries to get off to a pretty good start. I think, Pat, you had the right thought process. How will he handle this environment today? That one's fouled back and out of play. And obviously the kid's got a good arm, but when you're throwing JUCO baseball a year ago and you're a couple of starts into a new team and you're pitching at Minute Maid, it just feels universe is different.
Yeah, how about that? And Matt Diggs hands him the ball and says, son, you're pitching first game against Vanderbilt. That's your first start
there you go.
in your Division I career.
Minute Maid Park, Vanderbilt.
No
throw
big
it
deal.
all in there. A year ago with Wabash Valley went 9-1, 3 saves, and pitched for a team that went all the way to the championship game in that JUCO World Series. Had almost 14.5 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Yeah, that's impressive. It doesn't matter what level of baseball you're at. That's an impressive number.
Pretty deliberate between pitches, and maybe that's to try and slow down R.J. Austin in this Vanderbilt running game.
Yeah, you saw the pitch out there with 0-2. Of course, a good time to do it, not a good time to run. But trying to send the message to Austin, we respect your speed.
Next pitch. Cut on and missed. Koschel down on strikes. 2 gone in the inning.
Yeah, nice pitch from Langevin. He pulls a string on that. That's a changeup breaking down and away from Koschel and retires him via the swinging strikeout.
Boy, look at the fade and run
nice
on that pitch.
Yep. Good movement.
Two gone for the catcher, Alan Espinal. Played in 10 games. He's hit in all 10. 371 batting average. First pitch hacking high pop-up. Taylor on the edge of the outfield grass will put it away and end the inning. So each team got a hit in what was a scoreless first. Vanderbilt and Louisiana heading to the second from Minute Maid. Here's your schedule. Day 1 of the Astros Foundation College Classic, LSU in Texas. The nightcap this evening. Game 1 went 10 innings. Texas State an 8-7 victory over the Houston Cougars in 3.5 hours. And Pat, this was the game winner to the Crawford boxes.
Yeah, Aaron Moore, and what a loud swing that was. They tie it in the 9th on a home run. They win it in the 10th on a 2-run homer. And the Bobcats send their fans home happy.
Tell you what, Chase Moore, last year we heard about his home run prowess. We saw it today. There's a bunt from the cleanup hitter Stelly, and he's retired. Espinal pounces on that ball quickly to throw out Stelly to begin the top of the second.
A nice job by Espinal to bounce out quickly.
With that little throw on the run.
Little jump throw, yeah. Looked like a Tim Tebow jump throw, right?
Sure did. This is Clay Wargo, the catcher, and he fouls one back here to the second level of seats. We got a pretty good bat. Homered back on Sunday, did Wargo. Maryland native, Coastal Carolina transfer. I would tell you, Pat, that he was a running back and a linebacker at high school football. Would you believe me with that physique?
Yeah, that
you would.
Yeah, not hard on that one.
Another one fouled back and out of play. Cajuns last year 41-24, 18-12, and the Sun Belt Conference, a team that's been to regionals in back-to-back years. No surprise that Coach Deggs was going to build this program right back to where it was when he was an assistant in a Coach Robichaux. Great environment for college baseball in Louisiana, certainly Lafayette. I know their fans are looking forward to playing LSU tomorrow here at Minute Maid. Hard to believe that matchup taking place in Houston rather than the state of Louisiana.
Exactly.
But there might be a few LSU fans that might just camp out tonight to make sure they get their seats for tomorrow.
Man, that's going to be a rowdy one, no doubt.
The LSU fans were coming in before Game 1 ended, hoping to get their seats for Game 3 as Wargo's rung up on strikes. The only problem is they had to wait for Game 2 to get underway, and they're trying to get the best seats early. And pretty good inning for Holton, striking out Wargo.
Yeah, good breaking ball here. Catches the top of the zone, according to home plate umpire Joe Harris.
I don't think you can hit that right now if you're not expecting that pitch.
That's a tough pitch. Yeah, I think Wargo kind of gave up on it, and it comes down to the zone.
Looked up and out of his hands, and then it finishes in for strike 3. This is John Taylor, the second baseman. He's reached base straight in 7 consecutive games. Also homered back on Sunday. Oregon native, Yavapai College product. Lefty-lefty matchup, and that one is at a mile in the air on the left side of the infield. Shortstop Vastine underneath it. He'll make the catch, and Carter Holton put forth a really quick and perfect top of the second. The Cajuns and the Commodores, no runs up on the board just yet. Minute Maid Park is a great place to be today, even wearing that popcorn tub as a hat. So we go to the bottom of the second. For many years, Pat, you know this, you and I veterans of this event, it felt like College Classic weekend was the time that the weather changed, and it would be cold and maybe dreary, and we'd play indoor baseball. Yesterday was not warm around the Houston area, but it's starting to warm up. Roof is open. No precipitation. Looking forward to a great weather weekend.
Oh, man. This is Chamber of Commerce type stuff. Really is.
Jaden Davis hits a chopper to the barge at short. Big bounce. Low throw. Scooped by Storbakken. Oh, he didn't get it. Wait a minute. First base umpire Clint Fagan said that's an out. Said he dropped it. Did Storbakken on the exchange, and might have to see this one again.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Vanderbilt challenges this. I think Tim Corbin's out, wants to take a look at it. Yeah, the the call at first by Clint Fagan was it was on the transfer. So there's the catch. Foot on the bag.
I think that's an out.
Yeah, I think he's trying to flip the ball to his throwing hand. Yeah, that's clearly an out. Yep.
Got to complete the catch to get a touchdown. You got to take it to the ground. Might want to hold on to that for just a split second longer. I think Tim Corbin won't bother taking a look at a replay. So that is indeed an out to start the bottom of the second.
Yeah, I think it's a good decision by Corbs there. It's, you know, that's not one you're going to win because I think the ball was clearly in his glove and foot on the bag, and yeah, there's no needing to hold the ball for a certain amount of time in baseball. It didn't complete the catch, right?
Yes, that's right. Des Bryant fans, Cowboy fans, everybody's up in arms with those situations. This is Troy Leneve, fifth-year player, serving as the left fielder. See his numbers on the year. 6 for 11 this past weekend against Gonzaga. Hit a home run over their monster in left. Maybe their version of Fenway Park, a little Crawford box-esque because it's so shallow to that left field corner. Spend a lot of time doing Arkansas Razorback games when I'm not here, and you see those Crawford boxes. And Arkansas fans hoping they never see Troy Leneve again.
Right.
He had back-to-back three-run homers in games late last year, and he was the very definition of clutch with some big swings. Then had a three-run homer in the SEC championship game.
Well, Leneve is just one of those talents that you'd love to have in the lineup. The challenge for him is just staying healthy. He's had some real tough injury problems throughout his time at Vanderbilt. But when he's healthy, boy, he is tough.
That's a good point. Shoulder has really kind of kept him from getting the optimum number of at-bats in games played. 2-2 is cut on a missed. High fastball, and Leneve waves at the pitch from Langevin, and there's 2 outs.
Yeah, Langevin is showing you some great stuff. He just worked down and away to Leneve, and then all of a sudden pops that fastball up above his hands, kind of inner part of the plate.
It's just me, or feel like that pitch really had a lot of run to it.
That did, man. That ball took off out of his hand. That was explosive.
If it was softball, we'd be talking about a rise pitch of some sort. This is Davis Diaz, the third baseman. One thing Vanderbilt's offense doesn't possess a lot of right now is power. Davis had 9 homers a season ago. Did drive in 57 runs. It's not a lot of guys that have put up 10+ homers in a campaign. As we mentioned, they run well, they get on base a lot, they have pretty good batting averages, get a lot of doubles.
Yeah, Davis, one of those players in this lineup, like many of the Vanderbilt hitters, just good bat to ball skills, really knows how to make contact, shortens his swing up with 2 strikes, does a lot of things well on the plate. Just a really good approach, a mature approach.
Saw Flair out there in the shallow left. The shift worked perfectly. 3 infielders on the left side of the diamond, and Diaz with a soft liner to end the inning. 2 scoreless innings in the books. 2024 season tickets are on sale now. Catch every home run, every double play, and every game of the 2024 season by becoming an Astros season ticket holder and get access to every postseason game. Visit Astros.com/season tickets to learn more. Off we go to the third inning. Good pitch to Storbakken from Carter Holton to begin the frame. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Cajuns. Storbakken 0 for 3, pulls that bat back and takes one upstairs. There's 3 at bats this year, but again, Pat, a lot of right-handers in there against this lefty Carter Holton.
Yeah, Matt Degg trying to play some matchup against the tough lefty Holton, and so far Holton has been everything we thought he would be. Just great command. And
I think that hit Storbakken out in front of the plate, did it not? It did. He's out.
Ball. Yeah. Clint Fagan caught it at first base, immediately put his hands up, so that'll be a foul ball. Any question about whether he was in the box or not? I thought he might have been out of the box when it hit him.
Hey, you see him make contact with him, so he's out.
Yep.
Two unassisted, retiring Storbakken, and this is Connor Higgs, the left fielder.
Might be the easiest put out that Espinal has all day.
Well, you got to jump up and down and you have to point to Joe Harris and you got to make sure he sees it. You have to expend some energy.
Yeah, he earned it. Okay, we'll go with that.
Well, Higgs from Texas City, Texas. A year ago had 3 homers as a pinch hitter. 3 of his 7 getting the start today. And his head coach is a Texas City native. Tell you what, though, Pat, we're seeing a lot of shifting from both of these teams early, aren't we, with 3 infielders here on the right side of the diamond?
Yeah, this is a product of how much better the scouting is in college baseball today versus even 10 years ago. There's just film work, all the digital film that goes on now. These coaches used to have to wait to trade film with each other. Now they just go online and they can, in game, see what's going on with these hitter spray charts.
Here's the 2-2. Wave and a miss. Takes a little effort to throw the ball around the horn after a strikeout and get everybody back to their positions with the timer, but that is now 7 in a row set down by Holton.
Well, here's what you love about Holton. When you watch him pitch, this is the prototypical guy that knows how to pitch a baseball, and he just doesn't rear back and throw it. He'll sit 92, 93 with the fastball, but watch the command. He works it in and out, works it up and down, and then that slider's so nasty he can throw it anytime he wants, but this guy just understands how to stay within his skin and pitch a ball game.
And again, on that slider last year, a 49% whiff rate, which is crazy. About every other slider that you're throwing, somebody's swinging and missing, and that's why coming into this year, having thrown 130 innings, he had over 150 strikeouts, and there he's ahead in the count again to Luke Uhas.
Well, you hear us talk about these high spin rates with pitchers who can produce a 25 to 3,000 RPM on his fastball. Well, Holton does that with his breaking pitches. And that's why it's so hard to pick up out of his hand. It looks like the fastball coming out, and all of a sudden the bottom drops out of that slider, and it's off the barrel.
He works quickly, too. Good tempo. I thought he had one at the knees, but his catcher Espinal didn't help him out, didn't hold on to it.
Yeah, that might have been strike 3.
I think so, too.
Hold it. And you love how these catchers set up these days. They'll put that mitt up, and then they'll drop the mitt and bring it back up. There it is.
Payoff pitch foul back.
And that's an effort to win those low pitches. You'll see the Espinal set up with his glove about his chest. He'll drop it down towards the dirt, and then he'll come up from the bottom to catch those pitches.
Pitch had some run to it as well, but Uhas fouled it away. Moss Bluff, Louisiana native is Luke Uhas, trying to get on base with 2 outs here in the Cajun third inning. Boy, that is an upright stance. Ground ball, shot to second. It takes a chunk out of Davis, plays the carom, and then throws out Uhas. There was some positioning right there with Davis.
Oh, man, perfectly positioned. Ball looked like it had single all over it. Jaden Davis knocks it down with his chest and completes the play to R.J. Austin. And Vanderbilt out, coming to bat.
No score as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Calvin Hewitt will lead off for Vanderbilt. Louisiana head coach Matt Deggs joins us from the dugout. Matt, this feels like a Friday game, doesn't it, the way these pitchers have started out?
Yeah, it certainly does. There's two good arms going at it, pitch for pitch, and it'll come down to making plays, I guarantee you.
Hey, Matt, Pat Combs here with you. And, man, when you look at Langevin, tell us about the decision to start him today. I know he's been really good out of the pen, but take us through that.
Well, he's hard to hit, he's hard to find, and I just felt like he would get us off to a better start than we've been getting off to, and been grinding our gears a little bit offensively. We're a good hitting ball club that's just hadn't gotten out the gate yet, and obviously this weekend starting pitching is going to be at the foremost of what we do. So,
talk about your relationship, Matt, with the late Tony Robichaux and how important he was to you, how the legacy of this program, how you've built upon that, and really honoring him.
Well, there was three things: Coach Robe and his family, and Cajun Nation, our fan base, and then that 2014 team.
Yeah.
They all played a big role in saving my life and me and my family, and setting us back on our feet. And so this is personal for us, and it's not a here and leave type deal. This is it for us, and we're going to give them everything we got.
Man, such a great fan base too in Lafayette. I've been lucky to be down there and watch some big games, and I'm excited to get back. I'm curious how many ticket requests you've been getting for tomorrow night for that LSU game.
I've learned over the years to put the phone down. Just put the phone down and focus.
That's it, Matt. Hey, last question for you. I know you're excited about this team this year. What are you most excited about as the season's beginning?
Well, we can really pitch. You see the kid that just made the play there. He's a junior, but he's one of my favorites I've ever coached. He'll play in the big leagues one day if he stays healthy. And I just love this group. It's a brotherhood, and we're not perfect all the time, but dadgummit, we're going to play hard, and I love coaching these guys.
All right, Matt, one more. We lied. One more question. Longtime Houston sports fan, your best Minute Maid Park or Astrodome memory, and it's hard to limit up to one, I'm sure.
No, it's not. I'm probably the only kid that's ever been grounded over the Astros. I was 15. Football practice just ended, and I pedaled my bike home as fast as I could get there because we were playing the Mets in Game 5 of the '86 NLCS, and Kevin Bash struck out to end it, and I fell on the ground crying, believe it or not. And my dad said, "Get up," and I said, "No, I'm not getting up." And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Get up." And have you ever heard the swoosh come through the belt loops when the belt's coming undone?
I remember those days, Matt.
Yeah, so I spent the next 4 or 5 days in my room, but I cut out the Houston Post article, true story, had Billy Dorn, all those guys crying in the dugout, and I hung it on my wall. I said, I'm going to get there and I'm going to help them.
That's the best story of the day. Matt, thanks for sharing. I'm going to let you go back to work, but that was fantastic.
But we're here today. So.
Awesome, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
It's Kevin Bass's fault. I think that's what it comes down to. Maybe
man.
How about that story?
All those days on the golf course with KB, and I never mentioned that story one time.
Fast Time will be retired at a nice play from Taylor. Now he lives and breathes Houston sports.
Outstanding. We could just see if Matt would be with us the whole rest of the game.
I think so too.
Man, outstanding stuff. Great play. John Taylor over to Storbakken at first base. Really clean on the infield so far for Louisiana.
Yeah, they like those middle infielders. DeBarge.
They are
Taylor.
smooth, man.
You build a program around pitching and defense. It only stands to reason you have some guys who can pick it and play some D behind you.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, it's easy to see why Matt Deggs is so excited with this team, and you've got a pretty good blend of newcomers with a lot of veteran presence in this lineup. These guys certainly have proven themselves up over the last couple of seasons, and all he needed was a few pitchers to kind of plug the holes of guys they lost last season. It looks like they've done that.
Jacob Humphrey struck out looking to begin the bottom of the first. How about the Maine connections we've had here in day one of the college class? Humphrey, a Maine native.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Houston Cougars and their shortstop from Maine, similar to a guy like Jeremy Pena a few years prior.
We had a couple of guys from Nova Scotia last weekend. The Globe Life. I'm like, where are they finding these guys?
And don't forget our pitcher from Quebec City on the mound, and Langevin. I mean, you can play baseball, they'll find you.
Yeah.
Might make it a little more difficult on your path. Chopper to third. Pastor will charge and throw, and that's 3 ground ball outs to Cruz through this bottom of the 3rd inning. Just a couple of hits so far as we get to the top of the 4th inning. Tell you what, we're going to have some great crowds this weekend for the Astros Foundation College Classic. You could see a few of those purple shirts and LSU fans getting ready for the nightcap with the Texas Longhorns. It was a couple of years ago these same 2 teams passed through with Texas and LSU, and Pat, that was in the middle of a big league lockout, so our games were on the MLB Network.
That's right.
We had 20,000+ for that matchup. It was something. It
was something. It was an electric atmosphere, and you're going to have that again tonight. It's going to, Texas LSU, that's big time, brother. And that's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of energy in the stands tonight.
Before they become conference rivals next season. Brian Broussard had an infield single to begin the game, and Carter Holton erased him on a double play, so he has faced the minimum through 3 innings. He's retired 8 straight hitters and recorded 9 outs in that stretch. As that one is sent foul down the line and right, now to play.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. You see a pitcher go to work like Holton, and he's just slicing and dicing, but yeah, carving him up with, good stuff. But the fact is, he's just getting ahead of every hitter. He's putting them in a hole. Really tough for these Louisiana hitters to get something decent to hit.
See what he throws 0-2. And Pat, when you have this good of stuff and you're getting ahead of hitters with such regularity, do you have that tendency to just want to go right after them rather than maybe waste a pitch 0-2?
I think there is a case to be made by that, but there is a reason why you take pitches off the plate and you want to change a batter's eye level. Sometimes you see the case, Brett, where you get so locked into the plate that now, pitches that typically would be swing and misses are hit because you're just too much around the zone.
Now, there's nothing that really bothers a pitcher more than being in a groove and then giving up a hit 0-2.
Yeah. And you got to avoid that. You're at such an advantage with a hitter. You look at those batting averages, how far they go down when a hitter gets to 2 strikes.
The one thing about Holton, though, is he just works so fast. You see him check that watch, and that's part of college baseball this year. So many signs are being programmed in, check the watch and go. And really, Vanderbilt was at the forefront of this. They were wearing that watch a year before everybody else started to get into that system.
That's right. The pitch comm system, it's a great system. In the era of now pitch clocks and speeding the game up, what really is the perfect system. You don't have to have any signs from a catcher unless there's a shake. And every once in a while, you'll see Holton shake, and then Espinal will put the sign down. Soft
liner right to Bastine for the first out. I will say, for Holton, it looks like he has an iPad on his wrist.
That's a big screen.
Sometimes those are small. Maybe for those that might need the reading glasses, he's got the giant watch right now. If he can't see that sign, I don't know what's going to work.
Yeah.
A laptop, maybe?
Well, it's interesting when you talk to the pitching coaches when they speak about this pitch comm. They said, you can program any pitch, any situation. You can even program pickoff plays. You can say, hey, for this particular runner, you need to watch this step. I mean, he said it's incredible. It's like having a smartwatch computer on your wrist, and the pitching coaches run the whole thing from the dugout.
I think picks are probably the big thing to talk about as DeBarge goes to 2-0. I mean, it's a little easier to pick when everybody's looking at that watch and it doesn't take a series of signs, something that might kind of tip off the offense on the fact that something's in play. And it just maintains a pretty good tempo.
Yeah.
And I also think maybe fewer mistakes come about because of that.
No doubt. Yeah, fewer cross pitches between pitcher and catcher for sure. Yeah, catcher has the same system. You'll see it on Espinal's left hand, his catching arm with where his glove is. He'll look down, get the pitch. Holton gets a pitch. They wind up and go.
3-1 to DeBarge, and there's a base runner for the Cajuns, a one-out walk. So that was a streak of 9 straight set down by Holton that ends with the free base to the shortstop. If we thought that it might take guys a while to kind of get used to that pitch-com system, we should probably realize that anybody between the age of, I don't know, 10 and 30 doesn't have any problem looking at their phones or their devices. They assimilate quickly.
A quick check of DeBarge at first. Is a threat to run.
Duncan Pastor, the third baseman, bounced into a double play his only time in.
Yeah, Matt Deggs refers to Pastor as maybe the best pickup of the offseason outside of one of the pitchers, Martinez. We'll see him more than likely tomorrow, but yeah, Pastor, 6'3", 200-pounder that hit 346 at Nova last season.
That ball laced towards the Crawford boxes, high up off the wall. Leneve will play it, and DeBarge will hold it third on a double from Pastor. He missed by a couple of feet of getting one up and out. Well, that one must feel good. His 7th hit of the year. And you mentioned he's a Nova Southeastern guy. There was an Astro by the name of J.D. Martinez that came out of that school, and he wore out those Crawford boxes in his time here as well.
Man, nicely done. Great swing. Very quiet swing from Pastor. You're right, Brett. Just a couple more feet. That would have been in the Crawford seats for a 2-run dong, but he'll settle for the double.
Corners creeping in as Caleb Stelly took a big hack and came up empty. He tried to bunt back in the second, and you see some of the Cajun fans. Reason to cheer.
Going, didn't it?
Sure did.
Yeah, one of the few mistakes we've seen Holt make out over the plate.
Up the middle and cut off by Davis. Will he get the out at first? He does. What a play. DeBarge scores, and Louisiana strikes first. Wow. What a play by Davis.
Man. Going totally horizontal, Jaden Davis. One is he saves a run, even though the DeBarge scores from third, but that would have been a 2-run single for Stelly, but turns into a fielder's choice. He'll still pick up 1 RBI, but
with the naked eye, did you think he was safe?
I thought he was out.
I thought it was going to hit second base. And let's take a look as we slow this one down. I think he's out.
Yeah. I didn't even recognize he was at first base. It was out by half a step.
Problem was Austin wasn't able to extend and stretch, right? He kind of played that like a ground ball close to his body, which didn't give him those extra 12 to 20 inches or so to be able to get out there and snatch that throw.
Yeah, I thought for sure he was out by the naked eye. That's the way I called it, the way I saw it. But there's Stelly standing on top of first base.
This is probably the better angle. See, he's not able to extend right now, and I don't know on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it looks different there.
It's hard to see that foot. That's the problem. I'm assuming that's on the base. At least the front of that shoe is. The white shoe on the white base.
Yeah, it's tough. You can't see it there because R.J. Austin's foot's hiding and the knee going down. Great pickup by Austin, though. Man, what a play by Davis. Definitely saves the run, but yeah, it looks like this play could stand looking at that replay. Great job by our camera crew. Give us a couple of different angles, and that's what the umpires are seeing as well. So the call in the field by Clint Fagan is safe. They'll have to have enough video evidence to overturn it. And judging by that second view that we had, Brett, I don't know if they can overturn that. That's a clearer shot. Now we'll look at the center field camera.
So the call in the field was out, but we shall see what transpires. We've been using replay for several years here at Minute Maid for the College Classic. Joe Harris, our plate umpire, has the headset on. They're talking with our umpiring crew that's upstairs to our right. Maybe we should just slide that window over and get a news flash first.
What's the call?
Safe at first.
Safe. Wow.
Well, the Cajun fans erupt. They get the run, and there's still only one out this inning.
Well, that is something to be happy about if you're a Cajun fan. And call by Clint Fagan will stand.
So Colton Pat went from retiring 9 in a row to going walk, double, infield single. Wargo struck out his only time in. Maybe something was on there for the Cajuns on a safety squeeze, but the pitch missed. Wargo got that bat back in time after an appeal, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, how quickly the game of baseball changes, right? When Holton would just cruise it along first 3 innings. It faced the minimum amount of hitters in that Louisiana lineup. Fourth has been a different story.
That's a strike over the inside corner. It's been throwing that sinker about 94 on the gun. Safety squeeze again. Should produce a run. The flip was high, and it rolls over near the camera well. A throw to second base might have a chance to get Wargo, and he is out. But the Cajuns have a 2-0 lead on the safety squeeze bunt.
Yeah, well executed by Clay Wargo, the catcher for the Cajuns. It's the sacrifice and the RBI by laying down a perfectly executed safety squeeze. So Pastor scores from third base, and Stelly advances to third. Well done. Yeah, the play by Carter Holton may have been better off just holding that ball and not trying to flip it with his glove. That's a tough play, and could have gotten the out at first base, but took the high-risk play going home with it. That's going to bring pitching coach Scott Brown out of the dugout for the first time. I think try to give Carter Holton a breath, let him catch his breath, and just reset with this inning. Now a couple of runs on the board for Louisiana.
And the Cajuns strike first here in this fourth inning. Fifth appearance all time for Louisiana in this College Classic. Last year in 2018, they won a game 1-2. They'd love to be able to get a win against the Commodores to start this event. And here is Taylor, who will wave and miss. So second time through, the Cajuns have caused some problems for Carter Holton. Boy, Pat, though, they'd love to get this third run in.
Yeah, that'd be big, especially the way Langevin is pitching at the moment. Well, that pitch looked off the plate, but got the call from Joe Harris, so the count's 1-2 now.
Here's the 1-2. Just missing off that outside corner.
Yeah, Holton working sliders away on Taylor. Taylor a ton of pop.
This is pitch number 64, or will it occurs. I think it took so long we might have a violation. Of course, it takes longer to record the violation than it does to just play on.
Exactly. This count moves to 2-2 now.
Now Tim Corbin wants to say something to Clint Fagan.
Yeah, the way Holton works, I'm shocked he ever would even get close to a pitch clock violation.
Of course, in game one, Todd Whitting didn't see the conclusion. He was ejected towards the middle of the game. Mentioned Tim Corbin, though, coming into this weekend, 996 career wins, a little bit shy of 900 at Vanderbilt. That's a lot of baseball, a lot of wins. Funny part, though, for Vandy, Troy, again, they won the SEC tournament championship last year. It's been back-to-back years since they have been to a super regional. And when you're used to going to Omaha and you don't make it to the super, it leaves a bitter taste in your mouth.
Yeah, it sure does. Yeah, of course, for Vanderbilt, 5 College World Series appearances. 4 of those, they reached the finals during Tim Corbin's tenure.
2-2 is a ground ball back to the mound. Holton misdirected it, and another run will come across on the base hit from Taylor. It's a 3-run inning, and 2 of the 3 hits have been infield singles for the Cajuns.
Well, just a great piece of hitting from John Taylor. Again, a steady diet of breaking balls from Holton, and this time able to get his barrel to one and hit right back up the box. Tough pitch to swing at, and you see Holton kind of puts himself in a tough position to field it. Tries to go back behind himself with the glove and gets a piece of it. By the time Davis Diaz catches up to it, no play at first.
Well, I'm sure it's a frustrating inning for Holton. Twice he's tried to field a ground ball behind him. Then he had the bunt that he fielded and flipped over his catcher.
Yeah, a couple of odd plays. And for Louisiana, the other benefit of this long inning is now Holton's pitch count up to 65.
Yeah, it feels like they've shortened his outing by at least an inning. This is Storbakken, Wisconsin native, couple of years at Madison College. Listen to this. The kid was in Madison College for 2 years, and then he transfers to Hawaii. You're playing baseball in Madison in February, and then you get to go to Honolulu.
All right. That's a good trade.
I feel like you've won the lottery. He tried to bunt his only time in, and the ball hit him just in front of the box on the plate, and he was out. 2-0 pitch. Wave and a miss. That was an angry fastball from Holton.
Yeah, 92 with a lot of run. That's leaning back and letting it go.
3-0 Cajuns here in the 4th inning. Holton gets another wave and a miss to even the count at 2-2.
Yeah, your only chance at that tailing fastball going away is trying to take that pitch back up the middle opposite way. You pull off that pitch, it's no bueno.
Holton's next one elevated, gets the wave and a miss, and that will end the 4th inning, but not before the Cajuns plate 3 runs in the inning on 3 hits. And the Louisiana fans have a lot to cheer about early today. Back inside Minute Maid, the Cajuns have a 3-0 lead over the Commodores as we go to the bottom of the fourth. And one man who's unable to play today, and I know he'd like to be out there, is Jack Bulger for the Doors, dealing with a bit of a hammy issue, and he's off to a great start, hitting at a .367 clip, couple of homers, in fact one I think on the first at bat of the season. So Jack, I got to be a little bit frustrating not to be ready to go today. How we doing?
Doing good, feeling good, and just excited to be out there, but trying to support the boys as much as I can, and enjoying watching. New perspective from the game than being out there.
Hey Jack, this is Pat Combs. Great to have you on with us. Not often times we get to talk to a player, so appreciate you doing it. Hey, you know, there's things in life we have to do. There's things in life we get to do. Well, you get to catch this Vanderbilt pitching staff. Tell us what that's like.
It's been awesome. It's a really fun group to deal with. Learn a lot from them every day, and they just attack everything they do. So it makes my life really easy. And older group, and being here 4 years, I've watched a lot of them mature throughout their careers here, and seeing them improve has been awesome.
Hey Jack, you know, you hear a lot about culture in the locker room, culture with baseball teams. Tell us about, from your perspective, what is the culture like at Vanderbilt?
Definitely. It's something we talk about a lot. I think it's a culture of consistency. Just consistently bringing our best to the field. Let's see if you got that one.
Ball out to right off the bat of Austin will be caught for the first down.
It's a good swing. Yeah, just bringing 100% of what you got to the ballpark every day and doing your best to compete with it.
Jack, tell me about this kid coming to the plate. Camden Koschel, freshman, seems like he's off to a really good start.
Definitely. Super mature kid. I haven't seen a freshman come into our program and control the zone as well as he has in his time here in fall scrimmages and even through the start of the season here. Really, really good zone presence and just smashes fastballs. He's fun to watch.
Well, he has been as he fouls one away. I'm curious, going back to catching, Jack, how much are analytics a part of what you do with your pitchers, as far as whether it's scouting reports, the data you get from your staff, your pitching coach, on how you want to put forth the game plan when you're back there behind the plate?
Definitely. I think Brownie, Corbs, all the coaching staff makes it really easy on us. They try to simplify it the best they can. I think Vandy does a really good job of mixing both the analytical side and just the pitching side of it. I think it's important to kind of keep it as simple as possible for both me and the pitcher out there, and just let us compete to the best of our ability. But they do take into consideration a lot of that stuff.
Hey Jack, what's your future looking like?
I don't know. We're just going to try to enjoy this senior season as much as possible, and just go from there. But enjoy my time here and go from there.
Here's the pitch to Kojo. It's a little bit outside. We're talking with Jack Bulger, Maryland native. How does a Maryland guy get to Vandy?
Definitely. It's kind of a long story, but when I first started watching college baseball, it was 2014, and Vandy played UVA in the College World Series, and that kind of put Vandy on the map. And obviously they went back in 2015, and I kept following Vandy and Coach Corbin, and it was always my dream school. I ended up going to a camp my sophomore year, got seen there. They watched me through the summer and committed shortly after that.
You know, it's amazing. This Vanderbilt team's had so much postseason success. You haven't been to a Super, though, the last couple of years. How much do you guys talk about getting to Omaha and getting back to the College World Series? Is it understood, or is it something that the veterans bring up just because it might be the last run or last chance for you?
Definitely. I think it's understood. I don't think we have to talk about it too much. It's obviously the goal, be one of the last 8 teams and hopefully be the last team standing. But just trying to take it day in and day out, one day at a time. Win each pitch, win each game, and let the outcomes handle themselves for the most part.
Hey, Jack, appreciate the time. Get healthy soon. We want to see you back out there, and best wishes for the rest of this season.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
There he goes, Jack Bulger, DeMatha product. First pitch of the season, Patty hit a home run.
Yeah, that's impressive, man. Yeah, that's getting the season off to a good start. And, of course, you know, you heard him talk about, you know, his last season here at Vanderbilt. Of course, wants to make it a special season. But, boy, the luxury that Tim Corbin has with Espinal and Bulger as his catching core. Both those guys can really play.
Yeah, this is Espinal, who's catching now and hit in 10 straight games and popped up to the second baseman Taylor his only time in.
Yeah, Bulger really more known in the past as a better offensive player of the two, but Espinal has really put it together offensively. His numbers have increased. His output is up this season. but he is known as just having a cannon of an arm behind the dish. Really having a good offensive run so far.
He's trying to continue this fourth inning. Waiting on a 2-1 pitch. Here it comes, and that one clipped him, and he's on base. You know, on the Vanderbilt website, Tim Corbin puts forth quotes and comments about his players, and they're well thought out. It might take him a couple of weeks to come up with it all, but about Espinal, he says he has innate team fibers. He has some fibers of his jersey that might have been moved right there, but that's a compliment, isn't it? Innate team fibers.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it speaks to him as you know, when I think of that, it's fiber of the team. Like you're the glue, the thread that makes it all work. A couple of wild pitches from Langevin.
So.
Yeah.
And Espinal able to trot to second base with 2 outs.
Hitting Espinal broke a string of 10 straight retired by Langevin, and now all of a sudden 2 straight pitches that are just uncorked.
Yeah, Holton had 9 straight set down before 4 in a row reached, and he gave up 3 runs. And now the streak of Langevin over after 10 straight. And Jaden Davis has the count of 1-0. Rolled out to short, and it's only at bat. There's a chopper that's fouled outside of third base. When you cruise through the lineup first time up, and now you're going a second time, did you have any reason to change things up because you had so much success, or do you change them up, maybe pitch patterns, just because they've already seen you once?
Yeah, it really does depend on the hitter. You know, there were certain hitters that you get out once the same time. The next time up, you know you got to switch it up on them because they're sitting there looking for that particular pitch. But yeah, there are other players you just go back to the well until they adjust to you. So there's always that count mouse game, but it really comes down to the player.
Then you get a third time through, and in today's day and age, you're out.
Yeah, usually you're out. But
1 ball, 2 strikes, and that is just outside.
That did not miss by much.
You know, the one thing Coach Deggs told us about Langevin, as you see it again, he called him, maybe it was a Javier Vasquez comp, just the way that pitch disappears at times on the hitters.
I think that's a good comparison. It's got that 3/4 slot. He'll throw those 2 seamers, but we've seen him come back and throw that pitch up in the zone, Brett, that you referred to earlier. It almost looks like it has a rise on it. Just comes out of his hand really nice.
I would agree. Like that.
Yep. That was on the knuckles of Davis.
When you think that's over the plate and belt high, and before you know it, it's higher than that, and it's in on your hands as you're trying to make contact.
So hard to adjust to a pitch like that. That ball's running probably 4 or 5 inches when he throws it arm side to a right-handed hitter.
Quebec City native trying to end this 4th inning, keep his team up by 3 in the 2-2. And down and out. I got to tell you what, Wargo's really having his hands full just trying to handle this movement in all directions himself behind the plate.
Yeah, as a catcher, you love to catch guys with this type of movement because it just makes life difficult on hitters. But yeah, you catch a couple of thumbs during the course of that game. It's ice in those hands.
And that's ball 4. So a 2-out hit batter and a 2-out walk, and the Doors will bring the tying run to the plate.
Yeah, this slider again starts out away and finishes just off the plate.
How do you not swing at that? That looked like that 3-2 was down the middle, and then it carries off the plate. Maybe that's a guy who's seen that pitch a few times.
That's extremely good plate discipline by Jaden Davis. Now our first mound visit. So out of the dugout,
Gunnar Leger. And Pat, this guy was, I mean, what a pitcher he was in his time, and it wasn't that long ago. He was on the mound.
That's right. Yeah, pitched at Louisiana, and yeah, felt like he may have been in the. I thought we saw him maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Seems like.
Did he want a swing and a miss or a strike call? A little wince.
Just a bit outside. Leger was a quick mound visit. Langevin 63 pitches, 37 strikes.
This is Laniv, who struck out his only time in. And again, there's a lot of movement on that one, handled by Wargo for ball one.
Now you wonder if there's some fatigue setting in with Langevin. First start of his career here with Louisiana. Had been used out of the bullpen previous and probably had not been stretched out.
I think it's a good thought process. Did you feel like if you were extra amped up or excited, maybe 70 pitches felt like 80? Was there anything to that as far as just the heartbeat or the adrenaline?
Yeah, I think there is something to that. And also you look at, how many high stress pitches has he had, and this is the first time Vandy's had a runner at second base, so he's pitched pretty efficiently without a lot of stress. But no doubt, Brett, you come into a big game like this, and there's the emotions going, the adrenaline's going, and sometimes 60 can feel like 70 or 80.
And everything was so smooth there for a while. That 2-out hit batter, a wild pitch, and a walk, and what seemed like a comfortable 3-0 lead. Maybe not quite that now, and the 2-1 is fouled back, and he's still just an out or a strike away from ending this inning.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the command is getting a little broader here for Langevin, and missed wildly with a couple of pitches earlier in the inning. It just hasn't quite had the sharpness or command he had earlier on.
You saw him look at that watch, and then he said no, he didn't like it. I mean, he was shaking off the input of the sign rather than the sign from the catcher.
Looking towards the dugout, not that pitch.
Oh goodness, he just hit Leneve, and that's 3 free base runners for the Commodores to load him up.
Well, it was his decision to shake. Wonder what the other pitch would have been, but yeah, that fastball just gets away from him, goes up and in on Leneve. See the catcher, Clay Vargo, sitting away. So he misses with that pitch by about 1.5 feet. Catches him underneath the elbow there.
He invested a handful of pitches to try and get that out, and now here we go again with Davis Diaz lying to short in his only at bat. May ground to short here. DeBarge with a flip to second, and the Commodores leave the bases loaded after getting 2 hit batters and a walk. That's a busy fourth. Cajuns maintain a 3-0 lead here at Minute Maid. Single game tickets for the 2024 season on sale now. Make sure you get your tickets to see the Houston Astros on their relentless pursuit for baseball's biggest prize. Visit Astros.com/tickets to get yours today. Every year it feels like that Major League season starts a little bit earlier. For good reason it does. And spring training games already underway. And be playing baseball here by the end of the month as Connor Higgs leads off the top of the 5th inning.
Boy, exciting it will be here at Minute Maid. A new closer.
I would say so.
Wow.
A new old closer.
Huge pickup.
I was in Corpus last weekend, and you see their mural of all the former hooks that have come on to the Astros in the big leagues. And, of course, Josh Hader's there, and that's where he came up, and now he's back.
Yeah, how about that? Full circle. One of the best in the business.
Higgs struck out in his only at bat. A man who had a couple of chances maybe to sign a pro contract of his own, but is back for another year with the Cajuns.
Yeah, he has made the shift in the outfield, placing Carson Roccaforte, who left.
Down on strikes. This is the 4th K for Carter Holton.
That was a fastball that just got by him.
Luke Uhas, the hitter. Bounced out to second his only time in. High school wide receiver and had his high school season disrupted after that hurricane a few years ago in Lake Charles. Homered back on Sunday, his first of the year.
Well, I think we established one thing with this lineup is Matt Deggs likes multi-sport athletes.
He sure does. He likes athletes, you know. Big part of what they like to do. I mean, he mentioned to us, and that is going to be strike 3. Uhas down looking. 3 straight strikeouts, now 5 overall for Carter Holton.
Well, good recovery for Holton after giving up the 3 runs in the 4th, and that's oftentimes what you like to see is a pitcher who can recover from a pretty tough inning, just keeping his poise and composure on the mound and able to work through those crooked numbers.
This is Broussard. Coach Deggs said we'll be offensive sometime, but he goes, this is where we thought we would be, pitching and defense, and you like to see a little more offense. Every year just feels different. No matter how you put the formula together, no matter how you hit in the scrimmages before opening day, you're never truly sure what you're going to get and how kind of the identity, the personality of the team will develop in the first month.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of truth to that, especially early season. That's where these coaches really are trying to kind of figure that barometer in terms of where they are. And then, of course, with Matt Deggs shuffling the lineup, try to put the right pieces together. Today playing a little bit of matchup baseball with the left-handed Holton, so he's got a pretty heavy right-handed lineup. And a lot of Cajuns getting some action early in the season. Still trying to figure out how they're going to produce.
I would agree, and if Vanderbilt goes to a right-hander, I'll be curious to see if they make a line shift at some point in this game. I almost would think or guess that they would.
Yeah, I would think, especially late in the game, there'll be some matchup plays here that Deggs will pull it out of his pocket. And
he's pulling something out of his pocket. He's got the stopwatch.
That's the stopwatch, yeah. Wants to see how well Broussard gets out of that box.
Broussard, a New Orleans native. Delgado Community College product, went to the JUCO World Series last year. Can Holton strike out the side? Yes, sir. Pat, how about that inning for Holton?
Yeah, impressive. 4 straight strikeouts for Holton, and that slider's working. Commodores coming to bat here in the bottom of the 5th. Down 3-0.
Here's your schedule for tomorrow. Vanderbilt and Houston will lead things off. If the Cajuns win this game, there'll be a couple of clubs anxious for a win early tomorrow. Texas State and Texas, the afternoon game. And my goodness, most people from the state of Louisiana will be here by 7 o'clock tomorrow night if they aren't here already.
They'll be tailgating at 3. Yes. That's for sure.
There'll be some critters and creatures out there in the parking lot that they'll have on the grill, and they'll be having a good old time. There's a party element that the state of Louisiana and Mississippi and others bring to college baseball that we love.
Yeah, we have the Texas and Texas A&M rivalry, but yeah, it doesn't get much better than Louisiana and LSU.
Calvin Hewitt bounced to short his only time in. I did a regional once in Louisiana. I called a regional once in Baton Rouge, and it's a wonder I left either place because it was something else. That's strike 3. Hewitt down looking. Langevin, after loading up the bases in the 4th, gets the K to begin the 5th inning.
Well, good sign for LP Langevin. Comes back after that long inning. Of course, kept the runs off the board in the 4th, but had quite a few pitches to boost his pitch count up to 72, and needs a quick one if he wants to stay in this one past the 5th. Good way to start it with the strikeout of Hewitt.
This is Vastine. Shortstop bounced to second, his only time in. Fouls one back to the left. Florida native is Jonathan Vastine.
He has really picked it up offensively for Vanderbilt. Came in today batting .324, but there was a time when he was really just one of the strong defensive players. But
down the line in left, and that is a fair ball. Higgs can't come up with it. Vastine will cruise into second base with a 1-out double.
Yeah, just an indication of how well he's swinging the bat lately. That pitch was not bad from Langevin, and he just goes with it. Carries that ball towards the Crawford wall.
Boy, just kind of slapped it.
Yeah, he did. Ball really carried well, though. You saw Connor Higgs had a pretty good jump on that ball. He just kept fading away from him, and Vastine with the double with 1 out here in the inning.
Think about Vastine. Last year at short, Davis Diaz at third base. They started every single game, all 62, that duel. And this one fouled back by Humphrey. Then you run these guys back out there again in this era of guys transferring or whatnot, or maybe going to the pro ranks. To have 2 guys on the left side of the diamond start every game together and then come back again seems really rare.
Yeah, it is rare. Yeah, it is. Especially in this age of transfer portal, and you know, just difficult for these young players to come up and start right away at the Division I level. You hear all the time coaches talk about how much older the game has gotten with the portal. So it's really tough to crack a lineup as a freshman or even a sophomore at times, but Vastine has been that mainstay at shortstop.
You're right about that. College baseball's never been older. I keep thinking we're going to cycle through that at some point, but again, the draft was shortened a couple of years back. That's part of it. College baseball is a pretty good place to be, with facilities and television and strength and conditioning and everything that comes with it. But I don't know about you. Every Friday or Saturday I'll take a look at the scores, and there'll be a Stony Brook taking down an LSU. There'll be a High Point that'll be defeating Ole Miss. There'll be an Austin Peay winning a midweek series at State. And you can go down the line. Kennesaw State clubbed Clemson last weekend. Is that a swing? It was not. Fans getting a little rowdy here in the mid-afternoon hours. They wanted a swinging strikeout.
Yeah, pretty good pitch too. Did not miss my bunch, and that was a either way. Could have gone either way.
He took it to the limit, didn't he?
Sure did. Yeah. Only opinion that matters is Clint Fagan at first base, and he said nope, he held it.
Commodores trying to get on the board here in the bottom of the 5th. And the 2-2 is cut on and missed. That's 5 strikeouts for Langevin. Won the battle against Jacob Humphrey.
Well, Langevin has used that changeup really effectively inside to right-handers. He's only thrown it probably 4 or 5 times, but he spots that changeup up well. You saw Clay Wargo sit up inside and just paints the mitt with it.
Pat, if he didn't get the swinging strike, he was going to get a called strike.
Sure enough, yeah. Humphrey, of course, out in front with that swing, but sure looked like a fastball coming out of his hand.
R.J. Austin blisters one into left for a base hit. This will put the Commodores on the board. Fast Eye comes across with their first run. It's a 3-1 game. Austin's second hit of the contest for the Doors, and a little bit of some high-fiving going on in that Vanderbilt dugout.
Well, that time the changeup stayed up and got out over the plate. Austin a little out in front of it, but nicely done. Keeps his hands back and drives that ball into left field. He'll pick up the RBI single, and Vanderbilt on the board for the first time, still down by 2. Let's see if Austin tries to get himself into scoring position by way of the stolen base, but we're going to have a second mound visit by Gunnar Leger, and they are going to make the move. So Cajuns will go to the pen.
Indeed they will. 79 pitches for the Louisiana starter. Can't get through that 5th inning. Leaves with a 3-1 lead. Back with a new pitcher right after this. Tell you what, there's 2 teams in college baseball you always need a pronunciation guide. One's Hawaii, one's the Raging Cajuns. I've got this one though. Stephen Cash is in the game for Louisiana.
Nicely done, Brett.
Right.
Nicely done. Yeah, Cash, the 6-foot, 175-pound sophomore from Centerville, Alabama. He has been outstanding out of the Cajuns bullpen, making his 5th appearance of the season. In 5 2/3 innings, he's only given up 2 hits. Has yet to get scored upon. 3 walks and 11 strikeouts for Cash.
Langevin got into the dugout and he took his cleat off, took his shoe off.
Well, you do have to get in those turfs after.
That's right. Get out of those
Taking
cleats.
those metal spikes out. Yep.
Now Kozel has struck out both times in today. Freshman batting 3-hole for the Commodores. Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year. Singled in his very first college at bat. Coming off the game back on Tuesday where he had 4 hits and 5 runs batted in.
Well, it doesn't get any easier with Stephen Cash. He'll see a pretty good left-handed slider and a fastball that sits upper 80s. Oh, that got Orgo.
Boy, that took a chunk out of him.
Yeah, straight down on his thigh. That one's going to leave a mark.
He looks like he'd be the guy that would pick up a bus if it drove over you on the sidewalk, right? He'd be the guy that come over and lift the giant bus off of you as someone pulled you out.
No doubt.
From disaster. But this one didn't feel good.
No, that one's that hurts. They've caught a little bit of that thumb too. Yeah, He's a dog behind the plate, though. You're not going to get him out of there.
Castro a changeup to Storbakken at first, but didn't throw it away.
That's the kind of catcher, if you ever get into a brawl, that's the guy you want.
Yep. Huge lead for Austin at first. Not going against the lefty. That one is roped fair down the line and right. Let's see if Austin might be able to score. Juhas comes up with the baseball. Austin easily cruises around all the way from first. It's a one-run game on the double from Cajuns.
Well, Cash tried to go back to the well one too many times with that slider. This time leaves it out over the plate. Cajuns barrels it up for the double. And I'll close the book on Langevin. He'll give up the 2 earned runs. 4 2/3 innings.
And now Espinal with a base hit could tie this game up. Hit by a pitch his last time in. Cash nibbling on that outside corner but misses. And this is not a 3-game series, of course. 3 different teams. Everybody plays over the weekend, but it's amazing on these Fridays. You're throwing usually your best arm out there, and you go to the bullpen and sometimes bring on your best guys. It is a chess match at this point now.
It really is. Yeah. Especially these Friday games, because you're trying to set that bullpen up for the next 2 days. And so the guys you see today, if they keep those pitch counts down, will possibly be used again on Sunday if needed.
Cash trying to win this inning. Keep the Cajuns in front. Next one to Espinal. Down and in on the change.
It's been nothing but change-ups and sliders to Espinal.
Activity rolls on in the Cajun bullpen. Out there in left center. Espinal rolls one up the middle. How about Taylor's positioning behind the bag at second and throws out Espinal. You couldn't do that in the big leagues. You can still in college baseball, and it helps save a run. And Vandy gets 2, but still down by a tally as we go to the 6th. The Texas Children Houston Open returns to the spring on March 28th through March the 31st. Get your tickets to see top PGA Tour players compete at Memorial Park Golf Course. To get your tickets, go to tchouopen.com/tickets. The Texas Children's Houston Open coming up soon. We need to get out there, don't we?
Oh, man. We do.
March is a crazy month for basketball and baseball and whatnot, softball. We might have to find time. Well, that was a busy 4th and 5th inning stretch. Cajuns got 3 in the 4th. Vandy got 2 in the 5th. We're wearing popcorn tubs as hats right now at Minute Maid. And as this game has kind of settled in, now we're starting to go to the bullpen. And looks like the Commodores have brought on a new pitcher here for the 6th inning of work.
It is Grayson Carter, big 6'4", 237-pound junior from Louisville, Colorado. And I've been looking forward to seeing him chunk it, Brett. He has touched 100 numerous times. If you've ever seen a guy that can make it possible to throw 100 and make it look easy, this is the guy.
Giddy up. I'm ready. Kyle DeBarge might not. And takes one in for ball 1. He did walk and scored on that 3-run 4th. It's a good look at Grayson Carter. It's a big dude, too.
Yeah, slider changeup as well, but fastball is the real deal. That's up around the noggin.
That was 99 at your shoulder.
Yeah.
Hello.
He felt that going by, I promise you.
I might change my placement in the batter's box after that pitch.
John Kruk would turn his helmet around. Yeah, Carter making his 3rd appearance. He does have a start under his belt. He also has a save. In 6 innings, he's given up 4 hits, has walked 7, struck out 5.
Hard hit on the ground to short. Vastine there gobbles it up, slings one to first, a little bit high. Austin could not hold on, and DeBarge will reach on the E6 to begin the 6th.
It looked like R.J. Austin that had that ball dialed into his glove, but
should have caught it, right?
Yeah. Thought he kind of short-armed that after he made the jump. It looked like he was trying to maybe hold his foot on the bag or come down quickly, but misjudged the throw. But nonetheless, it's an E6 and DeBarge at first base.
That would matter if the ball didn't get away from him. At that point, the ball was already off his glove, and Duncan Pastor, who doubled back in the 4th, will bat. You know, the one thing, though, about Carter, just needs to be able to kind of harness that command. And obviously, it's got great stuff. Entering this year, though, Patty had walked 38 and 34 innings, and that's not going to get it done.
Now, it's a big-time arm that he just has to get more consistent. And really, it starts on the rubber, over the rubber when you have repeatable mechanics. That really helps. It's difficult when you have a guy that size is to try to repeat, but you got to repeat to get to that arm slot and get more consistent with it, and that'll help you get better command.
I think that's well said, talking about mechanics, repeatable delivery. Sometimes we just think about guys who can or can't throw strikes, and you've probably seen this on social media about 100 times in the last month. I have. It's a sign that the Nationals have on their side of the complex that the Astros share at spring training. It says, I don't care how hard you throw ball 4.
There you go. That's a great message. That's a great message.
I mean, you can throw a 99, yeah, but if it's ball 4, it's ball 4. Not easy to bunt that pitch either.
I was going to say, it's tough enough to hit that thing, then try to square around and bunt. Especially in the back of your mind, as a hitter, you're thinking, does this guy really know where it's going?
2-0 to Pastor. This is the 3-hole hitter trying to bunt again.
Yeah, Scott Brown, one of the best pitching coaches in college baseball, and love Scott's approach to tall pitchers, big-bodied pitchers. He says, you know, we just try to get them to simplify, try to keep those mechanics really simple, get them going towards the plate.
Out there to right, Humphrey started back. He'll come drifting in to make the catch for the first out of the inning. You know, sometimes, Pat, if you were in the minor leagues and you were a high pick, teams would pitch you one way or another. I mean, the good part of that is you would get innings because they have money invested in you. The bad part is it might really kind of shake your confidence or your spirit. In the college games, they're trying to win, so it's still not a matter where they're not going to leave you out there to find it. You're going to get it done, or they'll bring somebody else in.
That's it. Yeah, the development in college baseball happens in the fall. That's where you give guys extra innings if they're trying to get a breakthrough in some way, and Obviously, hitters, you'll just keep sending them up there. But yeah, when the bell rings in the spring, it's game on, man. It's the guys that produce are going to get more innings and get more at bats.
This is Caleb Stelly. Stelly hit an infield single for an RBI back in the 4th inning. Would love to deliver here. You think he might be looking forward to tomorrow night, a Baton Rouge native. And his family, they all have LSU connections. Mom was a Golden Girl. I think Grandpa played baseball and Dad played football. I mean, the whole family is Tigers. And I don't know what that family loyalty is going to look like tomorrow night. But that'll be one day of the year where it's tested.
Well, that LSU purple and gold runs deep, man.
When you get the calendar, you're always excited to see an opportunity to play at Minute Maid. It doesn't happen every year for the Cajuns. And then, of course, you're looking forward to a game whenever LSU is on the schedule. And when you combine the two, it seems like overload, maybe just a bit.
Well, there's going to be some full bellies come game time tomorrow. They don't come to the park hungry, I promise.
Might be a beverage or two that's been consumed as well.
The adult beverages are going to be flowing tomorrow. Don't know how many kegs have been reserved, but I promise it's been a few.
Father played football at LSU. Mama, Golden Girl. Paternal grandfather was a relief pitcher at LSU, going way back in the days of the box, I'm sure. Caleb is a Cajun. 3-2.
Grayson Carter had an outstanding summer in the Cape. Pitched 25 innings for Orleans and put together a fine ERA, 2.16, struck out 25, walked only 11. So there's been improvement there with the command.
Runner going, but that's ball 4. So an error, 1 out walk. Frame continues. Do you pitch in the Cape?
I did not. I was.
How'd you miss the Cape?
Well,
Team USA?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right,
Jayhawk League my first summer, and then Team USA 87, 88. Yeah, I would love to pitch in the Cape. Had family in Boston. Would have played in Falmouth and
been a Commodore.
Yep.
I think I'd like to pitch in the Cape. I don't know if I'd like to hit in the Cape. Swing of the wood, facing the best pitchers.
That's right. That's right. Caught a couple of games in Chatham this year. That was a lot of fun this summer.
Outstanding. It's Clay Wargo. Got an RBI and a safety squeeze, but reached on an error in the 4th. Should be 0 for 1.
Tom Holliday still coaching baseball at Chatham.
Is that right?
Former OSU assistant coach, of course, father of current head coach Josh Holliday. And
Tom was my analyst when we called a regional in Lafayette when they still had the duck blind old press box before the renovation. Governor Chris Christie joined us in the booth because his son was playing for the Ivy League team. I think it was Princeton that was playing there against the Cajuns. And the team that won that regional was Arizona. They went to the championship series, and a guy by the name of Jay Johnson came really close to getting a national championship before he got one last year at LSU.
There you go. That's a story.
We got plenty of them, Pat. You and I don't have as many games this year as previous years, so we got to get them all out early.
We got to get them in 3 games, 4 games. Yep. Good stuff.
As these teams have gone to the bullpen, though, there's been a few more base runners, and the Cajuns never trailed in this game, trying to add to this 3-2 lead. Hard hit, could be 2. Fielded by Davis, an easy out, an easy double play. How about that turn on a rocket off the bat of Wargo?
Yeah, 4-6 to 3. Davis to Vastine to Austin, and the Commodores keep that momentum going into the dugout here in the bottom of the 6th, down 3-2.
Not even the stretch time yet. Got to get up and dance when you feel the vibes, I guess. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. We've settled into a game of the bullpens with the Cajuns up by a 3-2 score. And Louisiana has gone back to their pen. Blake McGehee comes on to throw.
Yeah, good look at the 5'11" sophomore from Alexandria, Louisiana. Not far from Raging Cajun territory. McGeehee's making his 4th appearance. Been pretty solid. 3 2/3 innings, giving up a couple of hits, a run, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. He's been solid so far. Trying to preserve this lead for the Cajuns.
Jaden Davis is going to lead things off here in the Vandy 6th inning. So for 1 with the walk. A couple of transfers on this Vandy team have stepped right in like Davis, but that's an easy comebacker. 1 soft pitch, 1 soft lob to first, 1 out.
McGehee with good command, and he's a strike thrower.
Pittsburgh native Troy Leneve next man in, hit by a pitch back in the 4th inning. He had a brother Zach that finished playing baseball at North Carolina, but I think he had 4 different schools in his career. And I don't know about you, the number of players I've come across that are on their 3rd, and if they've mixed in a JUCO stop, there might be a 4th.
It's not uncommon these days, right? You've seen a lot of movement.
Started a Power 5, maybe you go to a JUCO, you go to another Power 5, you graduate, you use your COVID year, you go someplace else.
Well, that some of that should be drying up, and then of course there are further restrictions now with the transfer portal. Well, Matt Deggs is one of those head coaches that has used that portal really effectively. Felt like they filled a number of gaps in that pitching staff, and loves the depth now he has in his bullpen.
When you think about what Coach Deggs and Louisiana can do in the portal, you know, it might be easy if you're LSU or Vanderbilt to sell the possibility of going to Omaha because it happens on such a regular basis, or Arkansas or whatnot. But if you've been at a Power 5 program and maybe you haven't played as much as you would like, and you want an opportunity to play, but you also want an opportunity for a team that could very well be to a regional as well, you can kind of combine both.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's got to be part of the strategy of players who are moving around. Is once you prove yourself at this level, now you've got options to go to teams that, especially if they have a need at that particular position. And there's and then you throw in the NIL money on top of that. That has changed the landscape.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
In every sport. I don't know if it's sustainable for all these schools, but I guess we're going to find out how quickly the bank can break. This is Diaz. He takes a strike over the outside corner. I just worry about it in general, though,
yeah.
Pat.
It is. It's such a wild card. But then, you know, you're going to donors asking for funds to, you know, build out facilities and keep up with the latest tech and all the stuff that they need money for. And then you're going back to that same donor pool saying, by the way, can you scrub us another $1 million check because we want to go get a pitcher and a catcher.
Right, because we also need a quarterback and we need a shooting forward. And
there you go. Exactly.
We
right.
need a outside hitter on volleyball. Ground ball to the left side, and that was cut off by DeBarge. He throws to second. He gets tackled by Leneve, and Leneve is going to be called out for steamrolling Taylor.
Yep.
And here comes Tim Corbin. Remember, he can't cross the baseline. He was on a sprint. And Big Joe Harris said, not so fast. He'll come to you.
Well, that was a crazy play, but yeah, the pop-up slide, and certainly nothing Leneve was trying to do purposely, but it was a pop-up slide as momentum carried him into John Taylor and bumped him after he made that catch, that leaping throw from Kyle DeBarge at shortstop. It wasn't the slide. Oh, he just bumped into him on the run. Okay, gotcha.
All right, Pat, but why isn't that just a play on in that scenario? I know there was some contact and whatnot. He's safe, and he didn't mean to knock the guy over, and nothing happened that would be out of the ordinary, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's it didn't affect the play. I mean, the catch was made. I think that's what Tim Corbin's saying. Hey, guys, why the interference? There was no attempted advancement. The defensive play was over, basically.
And it's over right here, and he's not trying to tackle him.
Right.
He's really trying to hold him up.
Yeah, now the umpires are going to get together. This is, I think it's going to fall under, Brett, one of those rule interpretation cases, so they're going to review it. But
to me, this is just a play on.
Yeah.
I understand that there was contact made.
Yeah, Michael Durantis, the second base umpire, made the call.
If he was going to be out, he ran into Taylor and the ball came out, then you could say, well, all right.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, it's a huge play. I mean, if it stands, Vanderbilt's going to have a runner in scoring position with one out.
Now Coach Deggs, he wants to talk to Michael Durantis.
Yeah. So if the play stands, it's going to be ruled a base hit for Diaz, but Leneve will be out for interference at second base. It'll be 2 outs in the inning.
Here's the type of guy I am. If I'm Diaz, I'm thinking, is that going to cost me a base hit? Because they could assume that was one play and thus a force at second base and no base hit for Diaz.
Yeah. I still think it's got to go down as an infield hit for Diaz.
Leneve's got a little fullback in him anyhow. I mean, this is 3rd and 1, and he's trying to purge forward to get the first down right here.
Yeah. And you could probably ask yourself, hey, why did Leneve not slide into second, stop that momentum? Well,
he didn't think there was going to be a play.
Exactly. He thought that ball was going to get to the outfield. DeBarge made a great play on it to backhand it. And to make the throw across to Taylor covering the bag at second.
We were here a couple of years ago when LSU was in town, and I remember we can sort of understand some of the conversation is going on, and there was going to be an overrule. And basically the last 20 seconds of this conversation that we witnessed was umpires upstairs telling the umpires down in the field, hey, good luck telling Jay about this one. Yeah, good luck going over and telling Jay that we're going to have to do this and put a guy at first and move somebody. And all of a sudden you're like, well,
it's a hugely important call. Bottom of the 6th inning, Vanderbilt down by 1. The question is, will they have Leneve at second base representing the tying run?
You're exactly right. You have 1 out and a runner in scoring position versus 2 outs and a runner at first base in a 1-run game.
It changes the inning.
It sure does. And right now I'm wondering why this conversation's continue.
Yeah, I still think at the end of the play there, it's no harm, no foul, but from the rule interpretation, the base runner makes contact with the defender. The interference usually is if he interferes with the ability for the defender to make the play, but the play was made.
I'm with you. I think Leneve doesn't expect there to be a play, and it isn't like there's an opportunity for a double play where you're also kind of taking that infielder away from another throw.
Right.
But
of course, you have runner's obstruction. When you obstruct the ability for a defender to make a play, you have interference if in the umpire's mind the runner caused interference within the play. But and obviously no intent by Leneve to do it purposely or intentional.
What a lengthy conversation. Now we're back to the headset for Joe Harris. All right, we might have something on the version of a force play slide rule. In other words, maybe the expectation is that in that situation for a base runner, you've got to slide. And here we go, and Out is the call. Now Tim Corbin's out again. Remember, Todd Whitting got thrown out already earlier today. And Tim Corbin's been out there once.
Well, if that's the new rule, then obviously they're trying to keep, players from making contact in those situations. And so it's a new slide rule. If there's a force out, then the player must slide or get out of the way and not contact the opposing player.
I think that rule, while instated, was for good reasons. I think when you have a play that's in the hole and there's only one play at second base and you're not anticipating the ball being cut off or a throw even to second base, that didn't factor into the consideration.
Exactly right. Yeah, because I think of the forced slide rule, it's that runner at second base going in and making contact with the defender as he's trying to turn a double play ball.
Now remember, at the big league level, if they review a play and you're the manager, you can't come back out and argue. They're going to say, I don't want you to come back out.
That's it.
The rule is the rule. Yeah. In college, again, things are a little bit different. So, Tim Corbin came back for another explanation, and I thought for a second he might just say, I'm not leaving.
Right.
But he did. Now Coach Deggs. Coach Deggs is probably saying, why don't you give me a double play while we're at it? While we're shopping at Walmart here, why don't you give me 2 for 1?
Yeah, there was no way they were going to turn a double play there. They were just trying to go for the force out.
I guess you got to ask, right?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
He was probably thrilled that he got 1 out.
Well, it's a long delay, and Blake McGehee is taking some warm-up pitches.
Coach Deggs is an attentive listener, isn't he?
He is. And the worst part for the pitcher is it's been about a 5-minute delay.
That's right. It's his pitcher.
You're you're taking a bullpen session here. At some point, we will resume playing.
Tell you what, you could have gone to the concession stand, gotten in line, added another beverage or a sandwich, come back, and not missed a thing other than a review.
That's right. Well, Matt Deggs now is taking the walk back to the dugout, so neither coach seems like they're happy about the result of the play.
It is kind of amazing when you can have a replay and neither team or coaching staff is happy.
That's exactly right. So it's going to go down as a base hit. And the slide interference rule is going to retire Leneve. That is the outcome.
I'll be honest with you. I don't want to get too far in the weeds because it feels like we've gone that way. I don't know how you can rule that a base hit. Because technically it's one play. And a force was called, which would negate a hit. But anyhow, this is Hewitt. He's 0 for 2. And Hewitt will pop one up, foul ground, first base side, and that'll be back in the seats and not a play.
Well, Hewitt, one of those players that's been around this program a long time, and Coach Tim Corbin looking for a breakout season from Hewitt.
New Hampshire native.
Yeah, he's a physical player and adds a ton of value defensively in the outfield.
Is this stance of his kind of a right-handed Cody Bellinger with how upright he is?
Yeah, sure looks like it.
He's almost standing on his tippy toes.
Doesn't have the bat quite as high, but yeah, he kind of dives into the plate there. And fastball McGehee comes by his nose.
We're still in the bottom of the 6th. Cajuns still up a run. And we'll play on.
Yeah, we had a pretty good pace going. Kind of hit that snail's pace here in the last inning or so.
Tell you what, were it not for the Astros putting a runner at second base in extra innings in game 1, they might still be playing.
Oh, man. That was maybe the best call of the tournament.
I feel like I had some input in that at one point.
Nicely done, Brett.
Because, last year we did 6 games, and I started driving back to Arkansas before the 9th game. And I drove for about 6 hours, pulled over at a hotel, and you guys were still going.
That's right. Was it 16 innings? I think it was.
Oh, it was every bit that.
Yep.
We just about killed our stat guy, Bill Cousins. He was just about done with sports in general.
Yeah, he was. Almost hung it up. Yeah, that was Butch Alcindor and myself. That was a rough one. 18 innings.
Now, you and I did an 18-inning game, like maybe the last game on a Saturday night with A&M. And
that's right. Went till about 2 in the morning.
TCU, yeah. We were loopy by the next day.
That's right. We had the morning game.
We did.
I think we slept about 2 hours. And that's when you start getting delirious.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Hewitt, batting 8th for the Commodores. And he'll stay alive by fouling another one back.
90-mile-an-hour fastball on his knuckles. Good battle here between McGehee and Hewitt,
I would say. Had a total of 9 hits in this game. Cajuns try to maintain this 1-run lead through 6 innings. Shorten this contest. That ball hit well. Left center and deep. Back to the wall, and it's off the screen in front of the bullpen. It'll score Diaz to tie the game on a triple, and we're even at 3. A lengthy at bat won by Hewitt, and a brand new ball game at Minute Maid.
Wow, that's the got to be the at-bat of the year for Hewitt. That was
No doubt.
a battle. Then catches the slider. Kind of stayed up in the zone for him, but man, he barrels up the slider right below the Papa John sign out in left center.
And it's an arcade out there in left center. You're never sure what type of bounce you're going to get. Is it going to hit the stick? Is it going to kick and roll to your right?
It is like a pinball machine out there, and nicely played by Broussard. But
indeed,
did you see Hewitt put on the afterburners? Man, he was flying around second base. So that ties the game, and this is going to be a.
I think we've got a problem with the
pitching
watch.
change. Yeah, they are going to make the change.
That's the newest argument now. Well, the watch told me to throw the slider, and I was supposed to throw the fastball.
I'm sure they keep the data. So they can go back and look. Yeah.
Yep. Well, pitching change. So Vandy at one time down 3-0. They've come back to tie up the game. New pitcher coming into this contest when we come back. Hey, that's a throwback hat on that gentleman, isn't it?
That is.
It's going back a few years.
We can't even say that on the air. They get upset.
No,
if we say
I wouldn't
that.
think it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
The guy's got a bank named after him. Chase Morgan on the pitch.
Well, this is one of those freshman arms that Matt Deggs is really excited to have. Possible expectation to get in the weekend rotation mix at some point, but 6'3", 195-pounder Freshman from Cypress, Texas. Went to Cy Woods High School, local product.
Well, you know he's pumped up.
Oh, man. He's watched probably a lot of games in this ballpark, and no doubt an Astros fan, but sitting 89 to 92 the fastball. Has a plus changeup to go with it.
Go ahead run at third, and Vastine will stroke one to center, but right at Broussard to end the inning. So out of all that, Vandy gets a run to tie. They leave a runner at third base. Morgan made it look easy on one pitch. We go to the 7th inning. Brand new game. Cajuns and Commodores tied at 3. Well, the Longhorns are here and waiting for the LSU Tigers. Our nightcap here from the Astros Foundation College Classic. Pat, they're expecting huge attendance numbers this evening.
Yeah, it's. I think that's a no-doubter. Stadium's already filling up with purple and gold on our left side, the third base side. The visitors' dugout, the home side, filling in nicely with a lot of burnt orange. It's going to be rocking tonight at Minute Maid.
John Taylor, the batter, leads off the 7th inning. Facing Carter. Worked around an error and a walk last inning. He's back and pumping again. That one 96 mph.
Well, slated for a 7:05 start this third game. And
don't like the odds of that.
That is, yeah, that is in doubt, serious doubt. First game went extra innings, and it's about 3.5 hours. That, wow, which looked like it was up and away, but called a strike.
And Taylor rung up.
Yeah, taking a look at it, looks like it's off the plate. Framed up pretty well by Espinal, but yeah, that was a tough at bat for Taylor.
It's not a lot of fun.
Yep. Guys throwing 98 to 100 and you're getting pitches called off the plate. That's like not a chance.
Hey, this is Trey LaFleur. He is going to pinch hit, as we've been teasing a chunk of the game. Old Miss transfer. Played for Ole Miss in 20 and 21. He was drafted way back at 19 by the Dodgers, so it's been a baseball journey for Trey. See his numbers on the season at .526. So sometimes you start making some changes, your bats get a little bit weaker as you get into the game. Not necessarily the case here for the Cajuns. A big bouncer to Davis. Little flip over to first. LaFleur's retired. 2 gone.
Well, Grayson Carter starting to settle in. Caught his last 3 Cajuns.
Brings up Connor Higgs, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. That's 99, by the way, on the corner. A little bit off.
Well, get ready to start that swing a little early.
Base is empty, 2 outs in the 7th. Cajuns got their 3 runs in the 4th. Vandy got 2 back in the 5th, 1 to tie in the 6th.
Big man's pumping some heat.
Off the leg of Carter, fielded by Davis. And his throw to first is not in time. Speaking of a pinball machine. But Higgs able to reach with the base hit.
Yeah, Carter trying for that 1-4 assist over to Jaden Davis. Davis got to it in time. I think it would have had the play. The ball got stuck in his glove and kind of a double pump there on the throw.
These pitchers have been in play today.
They have been a couple of times.
Another pinch hitter coming up for the Cajuns. Lee Amadei, Louisiana native, hitting for UHAS. We have not seen the Cajuns off and running. Remember a year ago, 166 stolen bases. When you're talking about 3 a game.
Yeah, that was obscene. And Matt Dake says, I don't think we'll get to that number again this year. Certainly not afraid to run.
But he did say game situation. Now you got a pitcher just throwing almost triple digits. So he's going to get that ball to the plate quickly.
Yeah, definitely have to pick the right pitch to run on. But problem is with Carter, he'll throw the fastball anytime, any count. So, yeah, good luck picking a pitch.
One thing's for sure, though, 1 run could win this game as you get towards the later innings.
Fastball just misses down and away.
Carter trying to finish off his 2nd full inning of work. Fouled back to the left. Here in the club level, they've opened up this 2nd level for fans to start to settle in for the nightcap.
Yeah, coming off the bench cold, trying to hit a 98.
There we go. We're somewhere up there. There we are. Strike 3 call. And the strikeout ends the top of the 7th inning. We won't sing center field like they will in Lafayette, but we'll stretch them out at Minute Maid in a 3-3 game. Everybody sufficiently stretched out as we go to the bottom of the 7th, tied at 3. All the way from Germany.
How about that?
See the Tigers. Welcome. Got some Vanderbilt fans as well. This game goes into the bottom of the 7th inning. Tied at 3. A new pitcher as well coming on for the Raging Cajuns. Couple of defensive changes as well we'll get to. Young man's got a Space Cowboys hat on next to his dad with the Longhorn cap. Looks like Jack Martinez is going to pitch.
Yeah, Martinez first time out of the pen. Had a couple of starts in the season when it looked like he was going to become the Friday starter for the Cajuns, but it's like Matt Deggs has said, hey, we might think you have closer stuff. Martinez getting his first appearance out of the bullpen for the Cajuns. Does have 8 innings. Has only given up 5 hits, a couple of walks, make that 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. Opponent's only batting 179 against him.
Facing the top of the lineup in Humphrey, front door breaking ball for a strike. So try this one on for size for Martinez. He made a name for himself last year in the Division III ranks at Trinity University.
Yeah, outstanding. I saw him pitch in the playoffs against East Texas Baptist last spring, and he's outstanding. Had a 2.12 earned run average in 51 innings, 81 strikeouts last season.
Just struck out Humphrey. You and I might be the only guys who go from D3 baseball to D1. Bounce around, get a little JUCO action in, and keep right on rolling.
Well, Trinity is a powerhouse in D3 here in Texas. ETBU took them down for the first time, advanced to the College World Series. I can only say that, Brett, because my son Casey coached for East Texas Baptist, so I got to see a lot of their games last year. But yeah, watching Martinez pitch was a lot of fun. This guy's a real deal.
You got to go to Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
I did.
How about that?
Yeah.
This is R.J. Austin. He's singled twice. He knocked in a run back in the 5th. The first Vandy run to make it a 3-1 game.
Martinez even got another tick up in the fall with his fastball. He was 92, 93 when he came to Louisiana. Got a Leger and he went to work, and now his fastball has touched 96. Also has a plus changeup and a slider.
Hammered foul outside of third base. By the way, LaFleur is the new first baseman. Broussard moved from center to right. Alexander is in center. So the lineup cards are getting some work. And there's LaFleur. He pinch hit for Storbakken. Austin strokes one almost straight away center, but Alexander is way over in the gap. Austin's going to try for 2. He fell down, but he's still going to make it.
Wow.
That's a fortuitous double. Hit it to almost straight away center. He tried to hustle it into a 2-base hit. He was in no man's land for a split second, but the throw was offline.
Well, watch this slider. It was a front door slider, and R.J. Austin, even just to get to the barrel of the ball with the ball here, it's unbelievable. Pulls his hands up. Yeah, we'll give him a 10 on the dismount there at second base, but how about that? Then just turns on the jets around first base. He was not slowing down.
You know, sometimes I think we talk about speed in the idea of stolen bases, because Vandy runs a ton, and last year the Cajuns ran a lot. As Kojal bats, doubled in a run in the 5th. Pat, sometimes it's just going first to third or going home to second that the speed shows up.
Man, it's fun to watch when those guys like R.J. Austin just put the afterburners on. And yeah, it's impressive when you see guys flying around the base paths like you see him.
Vandy has never led in this game. Vandy might just have a lead in this game. Austin to third. He'll be held. A one-hop strike coming in from Broussard. The ball was hit so hard, nobody out. Probably no reason to risk it. And Kojal has picked up 2 hits in his last 2 at-bats.
Yeah, that was a laser to right field. You're exactly right, Brett. Hit too hard. Broussard got to it quickly on a one-hop and made a strike throw to home plate for Wargo, and a good job to hold R.J. Austin at third base. He would have been out at the plate.
This is the cleanup hitter, Alvin Espinal. You see the 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch. He's hit in every game he's played this year, all 10. Not yet today. So Martinez got that strikeout quickly, but then a double and a single since. Just about hit Espinal in the helmet. Cajuns have used 5 different pitchers. Might they be on their way to number 6?
Could be. Yeah, Matt Deggs on his way to the mound. Well, we'll see. Maybe this is more of a defensive strategy meeting, just with the first and third situation.
Yeah, I thought when Martinez came in, he might be in for the long haul, considering he's kind of built up to start.
I would think so. And it's called one of the best arms on that Cajun staff. So I think this is his game at the moment. Yeah, this is much more like how do we want to set up defensively, whatever Vanderbilt wants to put on offensively.
It's a long conversation with Coach Matt Deggs, his 5th season with the Raging Cajuns. First and third, 1 out. The count is 1-0 to the cleanup hitter, Alan Espinal. And Martinez misses in.
That wind picking up.
And we have not had a home run here in game 2. When that wind with the roof open oftentimes blows out to left. That one's fouled back and out of play.
What is gusting out the left at the moment. That flag at about 2 o'clock was sitting dead still on the pole. There was just no wind at all. It's picked up quite a bit.
Yeah, pants blowing in the breeze. 2-1 pitch, called a strike. I think Espinal was hoping that missed in. Instead, the count evens at 2-2.
A lot of arm side run on that fastball for Martinez.
I don't think that's a strike, Pat.
Yeah, it's off the plate in.
Soft pop up back and out of play.
Well, Espinal looking for something to drive to the outfield. Try to lift the ball. He'll take the sac fly.
We've seen a lot of hard ground balls at infielders as well in this game. They're going to appeal, but that should not have been close to a swing. And Glenn Fagan at first says no, so the count has gone full.
You know, it'll be interesting to see if Vandy puts the runners in motion.
Almost feel like you have to, don't you?
Yeah, Coach Yep. I think you got to put him in motion to second base. Try to stay out of that double play situation if it's a ground ball in the infield.
Try and get that run in. Get that first lead of the game.
Exactly right.
Koshel's not attempted to steal, but he is going to run. That ball's clubbed to left towards the Crawford boxes. Goodbye. A 3-run laser beam for Espinal. And not only do the Commodores have their first lead, it's a 6-3 contest. That ball got out of here in a blink of an eye.
Boy, did it ever. That got out of here quick. No doubt about it.
I'd like to see an exit velo on that swing.
Man. That had to be 115 off the bat at least. That was full extension. Just a ton of bat speed from Espinal, and he knew when he made contact.
I hope everybody's okay in the Crawford boxes.
That thing was
with
a
this
laser.
thing incoming. Then you got to play it off some bricks.
Oh, man.
Goodness. Was I saying about not having a home run in this game?
Exactly.
And that was not wind dated, however. It's also the first of the year for Espinal.
Yeah, that would have gotten out in any ballpark. No wind needed. He created his own wind.
Wow. Shaden Davis bats with the bases empty. He's 0 for 2.
We've seen some balls that kind of cheat their way out in those Crawford seats. That was not a cheated home run.
It was not.
Man alive.
I'd be curious to know if that would have hit the monster in Vandy. They've got that really high fence protecting their basketball arena. Might have put a dent in that netting or that fence if it did. And Jaden Davis, the Samford transfer, has a count of 1-2. Well, that was nasty. Strike 3 call. So a couple of strikeouts sandwiching the double, single, and 3-run homer.
Yeah, it's a nice slaughter. You'd like to have seen that. Maybe the pitch to Espinal if you're the Cajuns.
He's talking to himself.
Yeah, tried to challenge Espinal with that fastball, and
he's having a pretty good conversation with himself there for a second. Leneve has walked and been hit by a pitch, involved in some drama on the bases this last time in the box and around the path. Six-3 Doors. This is 6 unanswered runs as well for Vandy.
it is. Yep, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, now 3 in the 7th.
Well placed.
You know, you look at these offensive numbers for Vanderbilt. They're strong across the board. I mean, you've got 7 out of your 9 players batting .300 or better.
Just about took out the first base coach on that swing from Leneve.
Sure did.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of depth in this lineup for Vandy. Tyler Shoemaker
yep.
just about lost a shoe. Three runs home this inning for Vandy, and Martinez trying to end this frame, but the count has gone full to Troy Leneve. Three infielders on the right side of the diamond. None will be needed. That's a wave and a miss. So Martinez did strike out 3. But he gave up 3 on one big swing from Espinal. New game as we go to the 8th. Well, the Commodores now have a lead as we go to the top of the 8th inning. So the Cajuns got the 3-0 lead, tried to protect it. Now they're in a comeback mode.
Well, Cajuns need base runners, and the only problem with that is you're facing Grayson Carter.
He's been pumping anywhere from about 95 to 99.
Yeah, it's a heavy heater, and so far the Cajuns not able to catch up to it.
There's never been a shortage of big-time arms at Vanderbilt over the last several years, and you look at the success they've had in 17 straight regionals, College World Series trips, national championships, oftentimes dictated by the caliber of their pitching staff.
It sure seems that every arm that Vanderbilt has is like 95 plus. I know it's not the case, but it sure feels like it.
It's a wave and a miss to begin the top of the 8th inning.
It's amazing what Scott Brown has done with these pitchers as well. They come in already pretty good. You know, you recruit big arms. That fastball gets by Broussard, and then you also have to develop these guys. Scott Brown does as good a job as anybody in the country in developing his pitching staff.
So DeBarge, he fouls one back to the screen. Yeah, the SEC is not a cakewalk when it comes to facing big-time hitters and bats, and I think it's what makes this league so good. It's not just the settings of Ole Miss or Arkansas or A&M or on down the line and all these great venues. It's the caliber of players you have within the confines of this league, and it's only going to get bigger next year, of course, with Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah, sure is. Well, you consider Tim Corbin has produced 30 former players that have had at least a time in the major leagues.
Bounce stayed down for Davis. He made the play, and there's 2 outs.
Yeah, Vanderbilt has had first-round draft picks in each of the last 5 years.
I think 9 of the last 10 as well.
That's crazy,
I mean, you're going to have a year, Pat, where you might have a lot of guys drafted, but maybe not in the first round.
Right.
Now there's several high school kids that might get taken in that first round as well. Coach Corbin's coaching defense right now. He didn't like that bounce.
That's it.
And this is Pastor.
He was giving some verbal instruction to his catcher, Alan Espinal. I'm sure Espy's like, Coach, he's throwing 99. I can't frame everything.
Barely hang on. Pastor doubled and scored in that 3-run fourth to put the Cajuns on the board first. Waves and misses at 98 MPH. Matching his uniform number. When you're a pitcher and you throw 98, you say, give me that uniform number. Watch me match that. I'm going to throw my uni. In golf, you want to hit your age, right? You want to score your age at some point.
There you go.
Maybe pitchers want to throw their uniform number. What was Mitch Williams? Was he a 99?
I think he was, yeah. I mean, that was a lot of velo back in the day. That's when only 1 or 2 people in the league were throwing 99.
That's right.
Yeah.
He might regret that cutter, however. Provides a free base runner.
Yep. Tried to throw the slider. That one gets away. Well, Cajuns need base runners. That's not the kind I'm sure they envision themselves taking. Fastballs or sliders 90 plus off the shoulder, but Pastor will take it.
This is Stelly. Bounced into a double play in his last at bat and fouls one right back to the screen. Parkview Baptist High School there in Baton Rouge. He didn't have a ton of at-bats a year ago, but late in the year started to really pay dividends. He had a 2-for-4 game and a couple of RBIs against Maine in the Coral Gables Regional. Then homered against Miami the next day off an All-American. And that ought to provide you a little momentum going into the offseason and the next year.
Yeah, and he took another big step this fall. Had one of the better falls for the Cajuns.
Two outs and 2 strikes here in the 8th.
101 on that fastball. You can see why he might have been a little late.
My goodness gracious. I kept waiting to see if he'd flip that odometer over, and I took a pitch off, and he gets 101.
He did. 101 on the gun here at Minute Maid.
He's trying to end the inning right here. Long pause before the 2-strike pitch, and that is painted. 100 mph for strike 3. Some things in life aren't fair. That might be an example right in that situation. 6-3 Doors.
You got it.
Commodores come to bat in the bottom of the 8th. They'll see yet another new pitcher for the Cajuns. It's Tate Hess.
A 6th pitcher of the night for Louisiana. Tate Hess takes over for Jack Martinez. Exit after 1 inning. This stands 6'2", 220 from Singer, Louisiana. Making his 4th appearance. Has thrown 3 1/3 innings, given up 5 hits, a couple of runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Pounds the strike zone with a 3-pitch mix.
My daughter just tripled. How about that?
Oh, nice. There you go. You're double dipping over
I
here.
got a lot of screens. It's a command center.
Nicely done.
If I interject any softball terminology by accident, you'll understand.
There you go.
Davis Diaz in. Shift on. That ball blistered to rather deep left center field. This ball has a chance to go all the way to the advertising. Diaz is not going to stop at second. Now he'll slam on the brakes after rounding and holding with the leadoff double.
Yeah, Diaz did not waste any time. Jumps on that first pitch delivery from Tate Hess and drives that ball into left center gap. Touches the Veritex bank sign here at Minute Maid, and Broussard had a long way to go. Not Broussard. We've got Alexander in center field now.
Pat, the one thing, we talked a lot about the defensive shifts on the infield. They seem to move their outfielders around a lot, too. There have been a couple of balls not that far away from straightaway center that have been able to get all the way to the fence. And an advancement and an overthrow. Wargo let one go too high. And Diaz will trot around and score an insurance run for Vandy.
Well, that didn't take long. Yeah, good block there by Wargo on bunt attempt that was taken by Hewitt. And the overthrow to third base. Easy trot home for Davis Diaz.
Wild pitch E2, I would imagine, and they've kicked the extra point to make it 7-3. Sometimes discretion's the better part of valor. I know you're trying to help your pitcher out there, but that one hurts.
That did. Yeah, I don't think there was a play there on Diaz either, and a couple of times that we've seen balls that should have been eaten were tossed away.
Calvin Hewitt watches that one bounce and hit Wargo, the catcher.
Yeah, Hess has not found that breaking pitch yet, and that's a pitch he needs.
10 hits for the Commodores, 7 unanswered runs. Hess is pitcher number 6 by the Cajuns. Now the count has gone full.
Yeah, Vandy's jumped on some fastball deliveries here last couple of innings. That home run by Espinal was a fastball, left that over the plate. First pitch double here for Diaz, and just can't make mistakes over the plate with that pitch.
And ball 4. So a double, a wild pitch, an error, a walk. Shaping up to be a busy bottom of the 8th. So Vandy's already been able to pick up a little bit of insurance, and now I think they're going for the kill.
Awfully quiet in that dugout for the Cajuns. It was rowdy early. It's that 3-0 lead that was staked in the 4th. They have been shut down since.
This is Vastine. Takes one down and in. Gunnar Leger is already calling time, but on his way out to the mound. He's made a few mound visits, has made a few pitching changes as well.
It's been a long game since the 5th inning for Leger and his pitching staff. Put up a couple of runs back in the 5th on 3 hits. Running the 6th on a couple of hits. The 7th inning blast by Espinal after a couple of hits in front of him. So the battle of the bullpens has definitely been very weighted towards Vanderbilt.
And as we mentioned earlier, you have to kind of monitor your investment in arms because there's 2 more games to go.
That's it. Yeah, and I think Matt Deggs and the Cajuns are saying, hey, we've got a chance to knock off Vanderbilt. It's back when they had that 3-0 lead going into the 5th inning, and of course you burned a couple of your top bullpen arms. That's what you do. You take game 1, day 1. You try to win every game you can and work backwards from there if you have to.
Vastine looks at a strike. Obviously a big one tomorrow for the Cajuns with LSU, Houston on Sunday. Another one tattooed to right, but there is Broussard to catch that ball above his head. That thing was still climbing.
Oh man, it's 2 at-bats in a row that Vastine has been robbed. Just hit scorcher back in the 6th to center field. Very similar ball that was just a line drive right at Broussard at that time. So Broussard moves over to right and catches that line drive from Vastine.
That's exactly it. Same guy, different spots. Try somebody else. Jacob Humphrey came in 8 for 14 this year. He's 0 for 4 today. Picked back at first. A better throw, might have been really close, as is. LaFleur just about slapped that tag down. That is a left-handed first baseman. Had he been a righty, it might have been able to spin a little bit easier.
Yeah. If that throws on the second base side of the bag, Hewitt might be out.
Good pitch in there for a strike.
Now Hess is starting to find that slider. It's that one pitch you can't overthrow.
Often going is Hewitt. The throw is not caught cleanly at second base, so the Commodores do take the base there.
Hewitt had a walking lead at first base. Big jump.
That's 7 stolen bases in 7 tries for Hewitt. I bet there's several teams in college baseball that might not have 7.
Exactly.
A couple of weeks in.
And you've got R.J. Austin with 7, and now Hewitt with 7. Jacob Humphrey with 6. We're flipping the script on this Louisiana team in terms of stolen bases from last season.
That's a wave and a miss. Should be the second out. Was the tag applied? I think it was by Wargo. Didn't need to risk a throw, and he gets the second out of the inning.
Another good breaking ball from Tate Hess, and Humphrey over the top of it. Well, they're going to intentionally walk Austin.
Indeed they will. Now Austin has 3 hits already. He has 17 hits this season. 2 singles, a double, RBI, a couple of runs scored. They'll go ahead and put him on. And problem is now they have to take their cracks against Kojul, who's had a single and a double in his last 2 ABs. But I wonder if they're going to bring a left-hander in to face him.
Exactly that.
All right. We're guessing along with them. Pitching change. We'll come back with more. Vandy up by 4. Beautiful Minute Maid in downtown Houston for the Astros Foundation College Classic. Earlier it was 3-0 Cajuns. Now 7-3 Doors. And Maddox Mandino becomes pitcher number 7 for Louisiana.
Mandino, 5'9" freshman out of Minden, Louisiana, Glenbrook High School, making only his 2nd collegiate appearance. His first appearance, he came on in a lefty-lefty matchup and walked the hitter. So see if he has a better result this time. Mandino on to face left-handed hitter Kojul.
Camden Kojul is 2 for 4. Couple of strikeouts his first 2 ABs, but a double, an RBI, and a single and a run scored since.
Mandino, mid to upper 80s fastball, but the breaking ball's good. It's a slider and a curveball. Kojul should get a diet of breaking pitches here.
You were saying? It didn't take long to see number 1.
Probably number 2 coming up. Yeah, this is a guy, Kojul, you just don't make a fastball mistake out over the plate.
Runners go. Pitch in there for a strike, maybe anticipating the same thing, Pat. Slider, breaking ball, and they just took off and got a great break.
Yeah, big moment for freshman making his 2nd appearance collegiately. That's taking advantage of a young pitcher. Not paying attention to the base runners.
Pitch, though, caught that inside edge, the 1-1. Outside. There's the step off. Vanderbilt came into this weekend series in the top 10 in the country in hits and doubles and stolen bases. Well, they've had 3 stolen bases this inning alone, up to 10 hits. And you could see when you talk about the depth of this team's lineup, when you have to face them over 8 innings and 9 innings, it's going to show up more often than not.
Yeah, the athleticism takes over, and that's what we've seen in this game, especially. And that ball plunks him in the in the hip.
Heard that one all the way up here.
Yeah. I think that's what Tim Corbin is so excited about. It's, there's more depth to this lineup this year than he's had in many years.
Well, here's Alan Espinal, and this was his last at bat. Boy, this ball rocketed into the Crawford boxes in a blink of an eye. A 3-run shot, bouncing around. Everybody's okay. Nobody got hurt.
That's right.
Maybe some feelings. With a 3-run bomb.
Yeah, that we saw some pretty good exit velos here in this young college season. I've seen a couple of 115s, and that had to be 115 plus.
I had a game Tuesday night, Pat, and it was Arkansas Grambling, so it was not really a fair fight per se. The number of balls hit over 100 miles an hour in a 6-inning game. You want to take a crack?
I'll say a dozen.
14.
14.
Yeah, 14.
Yeah. Well, it's whoa.
To the backstop, with a Kara might have a chance to lock up the base runner Hewitt. High throw almost got him back in this fight, and the pitcher just got rolled. And one way or another, that's going to be an out. Vandino got taken for a ride, but the out was recorded. Boy, Vanderbilt, they love their 4th down conversions. They lower their head and they get after it, but the inning's over.
Second time we've seen that today.
Well, Pat, we had a play at the plate that ended the bottom of the 8th. Our crew is looking at it, and this could probably be one of two things.
Yeah, I think there's Mandino's in the baseline. No doubt that he receives the ball right there in front of the plate. So is there interference with the runner, not allowing him access to the plate? The other thing the umpire should be looking at is, was there any intent by Hewitt?
Well, he's trying to get that hand to the plate.
Yeah,
you can understand that.
Exactly. And Mandino was right in the baseline. There was really nowhere for him to go. So there is the new rules that talk about avoiding contact. Definitely a ton of contact there, but yeah, in a rundown situation, it's so difficult because a runner obviously has his back turned to the play, doesn't know when that throw is coming towards the defender. In this case, Mandino, yeah, you see that knee get caught up underneath him.
But I think this is about him not giving the base runner a path to the plate. Otherwise, Vanderbilt could go out and warm up, and whether they wanted to eject somebody or whatever the case may be, but they're telling the Commodores not to go out to the field as if maybe there's a possibility of this run counting and that out coming off the board.
There's a lot going on with that play. And of course, the umpires are taking a long time to review it. Clint Fagan on the headset there. Joe Harris, the home plate umpire, next to him. Yeah, I don't think there was obviously any intention by Hewitt in terms of trying to create contact there. It's just Mandino where he was situated, the Cajuns pitcher. No path to the plate.
And the out stands after all that. So now the bottom of the 8th is officially over, and Vanderbilt can come out and try and finish off this game in the top of the 9th inning.
And he does add a run in the 8th. They do boost the lead 7-3 as we go to the 9th inning.
Join the official kids club of the Houston Astros and sign up for Astros Buddies Club, presented by HEB today. For just $38 plus taxes and fees, Buddies Club members receive an exclusive jersey, a hat, a drawstring, backpack, lanyard, and 4 tickets to an Astros game. Visit astros.com/buddies to sign up today.
Man, inflation's everywhere. You said 38. The graphic said 40. They just boosted the price $2.
Well, you tell them I said you can get it for 38.
That's right. It's on sale.
Yeah, try that conversation.
Yeah. the inflation cutter Astros buddy
That's right.
price.
I'm going to give you a break. It might be 40, but if you call right now, operators are standing by. We can get it to you for 38 bucks.
I love it. All right. It's getting awfully purpley and orangey in here.
Yes.
A lot of anxious fans. Of course, Louisiana fans are anxious to score a few runs and try to keep this game going. And a lot of anxious LSU and Texas fans looking for seats at the moment.
A lot going on. Mason Zambo is going to bat here to begin the 9th inning. And Pat Carter going right back out there. Probably no surprise. He has thrown 50 pitches, however.
Well, the good news for Vandy is, with the next 2 games, well, they have kept the bullpen arms fresh. Grayson Carter has done a job stifling the Cajun offense.
Yeah, it has given them a boost in that standpoint. Cajuns would like a base runner, and they get one via the walk to begin the 9th inning. John Taylor is 1 for 3.
Only the 3rd walk given up, a couple there by Carter. Now Espinal will take a trip to the mound. Conversation is going to go something like this, Brett. Hey man, we're up by 4 runs.
Yeah.
No free bases. Let's go. Dial it in.
Find the strikes.
Make these guys swing the bats. Got a great defense behind you. A lot of athleticism. Let them make a play for you. Let's go, big man. All right, let's go.
It's not complicated.
No. Just throw strikes.
Taylor's RBI single in the 4th inning made it 3-0 Cajuns. Since then, 7 unanswered by the Commodores. '57th pitch about to be thrown by Carter. That's a bunt, a good one. Diaz will field and throw. Close but safe. Diaz was really deep at 3rd base. Taylor decided to lay one down, and it was a good bunt for a hit.
Yeah, great idea by John Taylor. Of course, you try to get base runners if you're the Cajuns. Any way you can get them is the way to go. And that time picked up Diaz way back at 3rd, and even just a decent bunt gets him near first base, and that was a good one. Yeah, still made it a close play. Nice defensive throw across the diamond, but now Tim Corbin out. That usually means there's a pitching change in order. And
Indeed, there will be.
Yep.
New pitcher coming into the game for the Commodores. Carter may have ran out of gas in the ninth. Cajuns try to make things really interesting. Still down 7-3. Got a left-hander. Miller Green comes on the game in this ninth inning.
Yeah, good look at Miller Green taking his final warm-up deliveries, and 6'5", 232-pound freshman. He is a local product out of Nashville. Attended Lipscomb Academy. And Miller Green, highly regarded local product. Lefty throwing a fastball that sits upright. He'll touch 90, 91 with it, but a slider is his out pitch.
Couple of base runners to begin this ninth inning. And there we are, two old guys talking ball with more old people behind us, but we're the ones with headsets on and enjoying another college classic. Have we figured out how many years you and I have been doing this? It's at least 10.
I would say, yeah, 10 or 11, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
New name of the classic, new network, same two old guys.
Hey, keep asking us back.
That's right.
We love it.
We keep coming back, and hopefully will for many years to come. This is LaFleur. He takes a strike over the inside corner.
Yeah, we get to do this job.
Kind of wish we were doing the nightcap, because that's going to be a fun one.
Oh my. It's going to be loud.
Very shallow center. This is a long run for Hewitt. How about that diving catch?
Wow. Wow. Hewitt covered a lot of space to get to that ball. Oh, hit off the end of the bat by LaFleur. That's tough to judge to begin with, because sometimes you think that ball's hit a little harder than it is, and Hewitt just took a first step in and bolted. Turned on the afterburners and makes an incredible diving catch for out number one.
Yeah, I just didn't know if he had time to get there.
Well, I'm glad he didn't get kicked out of the game. We would have missed that play.
That's right. Connor Hicks. It's 1 for 3. Keep in mind, it takes just one more base runner for the Cajuns to bring the tying run of the plate in this ninth inning. Getting towards the bottom of the lineup in the top of the ninth inning. Hicks has 1 home run this season. Couple of strikeouts before that infield single back in the 7th.
Good slider, just catches the outside corner. Well, good sign if you're Tim Corbin. Send out Grayson Carter in this game in relief of Carter Holton. And talked about Grayson Carter's battle with command. Well, he was 60 pitches, 38 strikes. That's 64% strikes tonight.
Tell you what, watching Green though, Pat, this is a big guy, and again he stands on that third base side of the rubber, but then he turns his body a little bit towards first base. So I don't know if the hitters, especially lefties, might have a hard time kind of picking up that baseball for a split second.
Yeah, I think the angle that he's at, that's exactly right. Kind of hides that ball really well.
A little bit of crossfire too.
Yep. That pitch just misses. Yeah, they project Miller Green as a potential starter possibly next season. Awfully hard to crack that rotation this year, but
big pitch though, and it's ball 4, and the tying run will come to the plate. Keep in mind, in our first game there were a couple of times where it felt like maybe the game was all but decided. In the 9th inning, Texas State was down a run. They got a pinch hit homer, and then all of a sudden Houston got the run in the 10th, and then Texas State had the walk-off homer by Chase Moore in the bottom of the 10th. Well, a long ball here would score 4 and tie this game up again.
well, we have seen some crazy things in this tournament over the years, Brett. Crazy things. Cajuns have put themselves in the position that they wanted to be for this 9th inning. Try to get that tying run to the plate. Well, here it is. Josh Alexander.
He's not batted today. He's been in there defensively. Lefty-lefty matchup. And to me now, the concern for Vandy isn't as much of maybe somebody getting one up and out, even though Alexander has a home run. It's falling behind in the count and maybe walking or hitting a batter to really kind of add some fuel to this fire in this 9th inning.
Yeah, a couple of walks already here in the 9th.
Boy, tied him up under the hands.
Yeah, not what you want to see when you've got a 4-run lead. No free passes.
The only out this inning was a great diving catch by Hewitt in center. Little fister. Is this in no man's land? Someone's got to cover. Another infield base hit. It's a 7-4 game.
Boy, isn't that an instant replay from back in the first inning? Leadoff hitter Brian Broussard, almost an exact same ball off his knuckles, and R.J. Austin just misjudging the speed of Josh Alexander.
The one thing is, Pat, I don't know if Green took the best angle to first to take this throw, but he still needs to receive it, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, he's got to flip that ball to Green, and now another infield hit. Now the tying run at second base for Louisiana.
It also brings the top of the lineup and Brian Broussard with DeBarge on deck. There have been 2 singles this inning. One's a bunt, one's an infield hit.
But a quick timeout there. I was wondering if Tim Corbin was going to make a change, but this is Scott Brown, the pitching coach, coming out of the dugout. Yeah, this is the time of the game where you want to play matchup baseball, and obviously the right-handed hitting Broussard now face off against the freshman Miller Green. This does not appear to be a change, so Scott Brown talking about strategy here.
Frustrating though on Green. You jam the hitter, you get the soft roller, it's in no man's land, you still have a chance to get an out. It doesn't happen, so instead of being an out away from ending this game, now a big swing completely changes.
Well, it's happened a couple of times, and you know, as athletic as R.J. Austin is, he just has to make better decisions when he's playing that far off the bag at first base. Just has to trust his pitchers are going to get to the bag. Well, now an interesting setup here with Broussard, the right-handed hitter, facing Green.
Vandy needs it out. Cajuns really trying to make things interesting. Good swing, fouled right back.
Yeah, tying run at first base now, and the outfield for Vandy playing normal depth. They're not playing no doubles. Hewitt in center field is pretty much in the same spot he's been in. So the ball gets into the gap. It's going to clear the bases.
1-2 pitch. On the outside corner, strike 3 to Broussard. Big pitch. Cajuns down to their final out.
Well, tremendous backdoor breaking ball from Green. Pitch starts off the plate. See Espinal pulling it in just slightly, but pitches the outside corner according to home plate umpire Joe Harris. And
boy, if I'm Broussard, I'm shaking my head. I don't know if I can hit that pitch right there.
That's one you just give up on because you just don't think it's ever going to come back over.
Remember, DeBarge has 9 runs driven in the last 2 games before today. Now he's 0 for 3. Reached on an air. He's walked and scored, but he does have the power.
No doubt.
To jack one.
This is the guy that Matt Diggs wants at the plate. Big moment player.
Bases full of Cajuns. Fouled back to the screen. Had some dramatics in game 1. Do the Cajuns have something in store for the Commodores in the 9th? 1 ball, 1 strike to DeBarge. And that one just about locked up Espinal.
Yeah, DeBarge, the team leader last season for the Cajuns. That .371 average stands out, but 15 doubles, 7 home runs. Just cannot make a mistake with DeBarge.
High in the air to left center, and it should be playable. Fans rooting with their hearts. Hewitt's there. He's got it. The Commodores hang on and win it 7-4. That was quite a game, Pat.
Boy, a lot of back and forth and an early deficit erased by the Commodores. And they do it in style. Big home run off the bat of Alan Espinal, and that was the clincher tonight. Great game.
Tell you what, day 1 hasn't disappointed, has it?
Has not. Pretty much what we expect in this tournament. It's always this way, and the fans never go home disappointed, even with the results. Louisiana hanging in there, but the battle of the bullpens goes the way of the Commodores today in that 7-4 victory.
Boy, can't wait for the finale, the nightcap. It's Texas, it's LSU. Huge crowd expected here at Minute Maid. Pat and I will be back tomorrow for more baseball here from the Astros Foundation College Classic. So for Pat Combs, I'm Brett Doldham saying so long from Houston for now. Our final score in game 2. Vandy takes down Louisiana 7-4. Stay tuned for game 3. Number 3 LSU.